Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Feardromida. Today is the first day of the rotation, starting with Announcer's Story.
Yay!
Announcer, what story did you pick?
Abandoned by Disney.
Abandoned by Disney by Slimebeast.
Slimebeast. Yep.
Yep,
Um.
picked it today.
I yes, I
Slight,
picked it.
slight shade there. Hey, waifu, if you want to become my
Yes.
favorite Pookie, pick the story before we actually hit the record button, please.
Oh, looks like I'm deleting all the
Yeah.
reels that I'm planning to make. Oh, looks like we're not getting any advertising.
So, I was pretty curious about which one of you guys would pick a really solid story first. And I'm glad we're starting out the gate with what I think is a relatively solid series. Because Slimebeast, who is the author of the Abandoned by Disney series, is a very well-known author. He's also the moderator for a few creepypasta sites.
See, I
He
didn't know this.
he was the person who actually won the Jeff the Killer rewrite. Hey, it's editor Stevie. Jeff Jeff the Killer rewrite was actually won by K. Banning Kellum, not Slimebeast. I have no idea where I got this information. I repeat myself with this little factoid several times in the episode. I have no idea where I got it. So, just figured I'd clarify that real quick. I'm wrong. Yippee. Back to the episode. So, when we eventually read all 15 entries of that contest, we have
Please
something
don't.
to look forward to. You agreed to the
Oh,
terms. You agreed to the
um.
terms. Wifey wasn't there to agree to the terms, but he joined, so he agreed to the terms through just joining.
I agree to the terms.
He agrees
I
to
don't
the
even know
terms,
what
I
I'm.
I
know.
agreed to
I
the
know. I
terms,
know.
so now
The
you
term.
agree to the
I know.
terms.
I know. I agreed to the terms. I
You're
don't. I
stuck
still
with
don't
you're
want
stuck
to.
with the consequences of your own actions.
Please don't like
So,
episode 2.
no, do like episode 2.
Subscribe. Only
I want to see
subscribe.
this man
Only
suffer. Wait, was it likes or subscribers that we were trying to get to?
It was likes because it's easier to achieve.
True. All right. Yeah, like episode 2, please.
Please don't.
I just need to make sure I'm staying consistent with uploading schedule now, and it all should
I
be
just
fine.
gotta I just gotta, you know, get the password
Yeah,
for the
I'm working
Instagram.
on that. For
We're
whatever
throwing
reason,
shade today. We're throwing shade today.
we're throwing shade, which I feel like is very suiting for the story we're covering because
Hey,
it's
someone
talking
left my.
about Disney.
And I hate Disney. Me and my
Same.
homies hate Disney.
All my homies hate Disney.
Me and my homies hate that stupid mouse.
Actually, wait, waifu, haven't you gone to Disney World a lot?
Not a lot. I've been to
Because
the
he's a psyop.
little
He's
of
a psyop.
Because he's
Quick, someone,
Uh,
someone, name a country that's in conflict right now.
oh,
I'm their psyop. I'm
um,
their psyop.
Russia.
Venezuela. Venezuela. You're a Venezuelan
Oh,
I'm a
psyop.
Venezuelan psyop.
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh,
I had to rack my
oh,
brain for
oh,
that one.
oh, oh.
Had to avoid the shadow ban, you know.
I like how
We've
it's
already
like, Russia,
made fun of
Russia,
China. We're fine. We've already made fun of
China,
Russia.
China,
We're trying to
China,
keep a list.
China,
Should I start a
China.
list of countries we're banned from?
Yeah, I can give you a list of countries that I'm actually banned from.
I'm German. I think I know which one I'm banned from.
What?
Well, that doesn't narrow down the list at all.
No.
That could be Poland, Russia,
We're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Austria, France, the Maginot Line. It's not a country.
We're getting off topic,
A
guys.
a
So,
tank factory.
abandoned by Disney. we all already know Disney has done some kind of suspicious things. And just kind of Disney's
Disney
very
sucks.
interesting.
Welcome to episode
Like
4, where we just insult Disney and then say that we're reading creepy pastas.
um like that thing that recently happened where Disney killed a woman and then said the husband can't sue Disney because they subscribed for a free trial of abandoned by not abandoned by Disney, a free trial to Disney Plus. You guys remember that?
Did they? No, I
How
don't.
did
You didn't
have you
you didn't
not
hear
heard that?
about that?
No,
Okay, so that is
I
actually
I work,
that's
shit,
crazy.
piss, and sleep. That's all I do.
And me, but we don't.
Every Tuesday. That's every Tuesday. That's work.
Anyway, that situation, basically what happened was the woman, I forget what allergy it was, but she went to one of the restaurants because she heard
Here's a.
that what was it?
I'm looking it up now. I don't want to be
Okay.
wrong.
So she had an allergy to something, and she went to this restaurant in one of the Disney parks that said that they accommodated allergies. And she tried like 3 different times making sure, hey, don't put this specific thing in. I'm deathly allergic to it.
It was a
And then,
severe allergy to dairy and nuts.
okay. So she asked multiple times, hey, this doesn't have dairy, this doesn't have nuts in it. They said yes every single time. She ate it, it had both dairy and nuts. And she went into anaphylactic shock and died on her way to the hospital, I believed. And so the husband, realizing, hey, you guys just killed my wife, tried suing Disney, and Disney used the argument of, well, you signed up for a Disney Plus subscription, and if you look
Yep.
into the terms and
So
conditions, there's
Disney's
this little.
official defense. The initial defense was Disney attempted to have the lawsuit dismissed, citing an arbitration clause Piccolo had agreed to when signing up for Disney Plus. But they eventually dropped the defense, and a judge allowed the lawsuit to proceed against the resort and restaurant.
Because everybody realized, hey, if that defense actually works, that means corporations can just kill you and get away with it, which isn't good. And then I believe that they settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money. I'm not entirely certain, but there was
He
that
was
situation.
suing for $50,000.
I hope he got it. I hope he got every single cent. That was like trying to say, "Hey, you basically let us kill your wife, dude." I think that is horrible.
And not only were they not allowing him to sue, it was because of the terms of a free trial of Disney Plus.
Yeah, a free trial even. Like you didn't even let him get a full week's worth of content in.
Yeah.
Also, the image you dropped in the chat is unacceptable.
Sorry, it came up in
Oh,
my
can you
memories. Holy
can
shit.
you scroll up a little further than that? After
Yeah, no, we see it.
Yeah,
We see it.
It's slightly above that. It's right at 10:02, or for you guys 8:02. But the one above,
oh, did you pick one? No, you have not picked one yet.
yeah,
But
whoops, I forgot.
well, it's not. After this episode, it's your turn in the cycle. But
You have a month.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
if you, as long as you pick a story before we record next episode, I
Yeah,
will
just
be
do what I
happy.
did. Just do what I did.
Yeah, just do what an announcer did and just waited the hour before.
For real.
So
But could I
go for it.
could I go into the reason why I picked this particular story?
Go for it.
Um,
Indulge us.
I picked it because I have a side hobby of mine, which I don't usually talk about a lot, is actually researching all of the abandoned and cut projects from Disney. like all their old
Yeah, all their. Okay, so that's
old
actually really
parks
that's really
and
interesting because this story does get into that pretty heavy with all this stuff.
yeah, like the island that they have that you go on like I forget what the boat tour is, but there's supposed to be like a whole amusement like a little amusement park there, and there's supposed to be a little train that goes around the of course I'd know about the train part, but like there's supposed to be a little train that goes around the whole like lake river area in like a supposedly like a Wild West recreation place that was supposed to be like like the Thunder Mountain gold mine, or is it Thunder Mesa gold mine or something?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
The big
I don't
the
know.
the
I've never
the
been to
big
Disney World
the
Orlando
big
or any of them.
ride that's all like New Mexico Mesa Plains mining themed. It was actually supposed to be a lot larger, and that's what they had left. And they were supposed those trains you were supposed to be able to like. I mean, obviously you ride the train around, but they were repurposed. I think. Don't exactly quote me on this. I could be as wrong as I don't know as wrong as Stevie on a Tuesday, but so that's really what kind of intrigued me about this
Yeah,
is that it's about something that I've researched before, and I've
yeah.
you know
This is also, at least the first part, is an urban exploring story. And for people who don't know us or have talked to us for less than 5 seconds, we all love urban exploring. We used to do it. A bunch of the clips that we have in our intro actually were recorded while we were urban exploring.
I miss those days.
I do too. When we come visit you, we'll have to figure out a place to urban explore.
there's a lot
Or
of
when
I'm
you
places out there.
when
coming
you come up,
down in October. Yeah.
true, we could do some
Ooh,
urban exploring then too.
I've got a
I
bunch of
have
new
some spots
winter gear
picked.
too. A little off topic, but I've found two whole towns that aren't populated anymore.
That's not off
No
topic.
way.
That's exactly. Hey guys, do we want to do an episode where we urban explore? Tell us in the comments. We're probably not going to do
We're
that
gonna
because I'm
do it
not.
anyway.
We're going to do it anyway. We just might not record this since.
Do you want us to record it? Well, you better send us money. We'll put our PayPal in the description.
This will be on
Just go
Patreon. By the way,
subscribe,
we're
yeah,
having a
subscribe to
Patreon.
our Patreon.
Guys,
Become
who
a
wants to manage
YouTube
the
member and
Patreon?
get
I don't know.
great
I don't even know how to
features.
run a Patreon.
I'll run the Patreon. I'll do
Okay,
all the public front stuff.
It's all for Stevie feet pics. Don't worry.
Dude, where is it and where can I sign
It's
up?
just me wearing like my military boots and just like cargo shorts, and that's it.
Scandalous.
No,
Scandalous.
no.
That is the most
Socks,
skin I'm willing to
sandals.
show.
Socks the sandals.
Socks with sandals. Every I'm in full IVSC kit. Otherwise, I'm just wearing green cargo shorts and socks and sandals.
Yes, absolutely.
And then there's one where you like just like push the sock down
It
slowly.
shows some ankle.
And then like it's just like a white flash because you're so pale that you reflect any light that you can to the 10th power,
You
and it just
know
fries the camera.
it. You know it. Um. So, I think announcers from what announcers just told us, I think he's going to really like Abandoned by Disney. Waifu, what do you think about Abandoned by Disney? Are you excited? Especially because we get to make fun of the mouse more?
I am.
Alrighty.
Because you're a Venezuelan psyop against Disney,
Hmm.
not against the U.S. government, just Disney.
Just Disney.
Just Disney.
That might be a psyop I can
Just
get
Disney.
behind. What they did to Star Wars is unacceptable.
That was a psyop in itself.
Dude, for real. I don't even classify those as Star Wars.
Uh-oh, is there going to be a movie critiquing
In the
podcast
middle of
coming
our
up next?
creepypasta
Welcome
podcast?
to
What?
Welcome to Cinema Sins.
CinemaSins #1. This is a Disney Star Wars show. Bing.
Cinnamon
Cinnamon
sins.
Sins.
Cin- Cinnamon sin
We found our new
2.
collaboration channel. It's going to be Cinnamon Sins.
I'll work
Cinnamon
on it.
sin
That sounds
2.
like a VTuber name, honestly. Cinnamon
Dude,
Sins.
honestly,
Become
you
a
know what,
VTuber. You just have to like
waifu, you're now
I'll pay
cinnamon
someone
sin.
to animate my thing,
I've been meaning to
my
sit
model.
down and
What?
like actually figure out how to make a VTuber model because I think that'd be kind of
Hey
fun to do for
guys,
myself too. But
hey guys, we're recording a podcast. Isn't that crazy?
oh shit, right. I completely forgot. It's totally
Big
not like
surprise.
we warned
Hey,
everybody in the beginning that we're a bunch of idiots who are going to be barely coherent, so they
I could
should
just
be
imagine,
used
like,
to it.
I could imagine one of our viewers just like grabbing the monitor and they're like, they're not fucking talking about
Talk about the
creepypasta.
myth. Talk about Disney.
Read the
All right.
fucking episode. Read that shit. All right, I'll be narrating today because it's
Yeah.
my episode.
So
That.
with each part, there's going to be plenty of chances for each of us to do a section of narrating because all four parts are collections. All four parts are based around one guy. It's just there are a few stories that are collected by him to also continue the narrative. So there will be opportunity for me and waifu to also talk. It's just yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start with part
Aban-
1, which
Yep.
is just abandoned by Disney, right?
Yeah. Abandoned by Disney.
Published May 20th, 2013.
By Slime
Wow.
Beast,
4.6
the
stars.
absolute goat. He has a YouTube channel.
Go subscribe to his YouTube channel
Yeah.
After you
and
subscribe
tell
to
him,
ours, of course.
yeah, all 25 of you.
It in fact, guys, dare I say I forgot what I was going to dare to say. So
I guess you lost the dare.
if I dare to remember, I'll dare to say it a second time.
Dare I say?
Since you lost the dare, all of the feet pictures of you I have on my phone are being released into the dark web.
Where did you get
Not the
feet pictures
files.
of me?
I've stayed the night at your house.
You always fall asleep first. You just don't know it.
All right, let's stop torturing the audience and actually start reading.
Yeah.
Let's hope a lot of this will be cut out because a lot of this was just
Side
useless
tangents.
rants.
Yeah. We will see.
Ready?
Yep. So this is Abandoned by Disney.
Some of you may have heard that the Disney Corporation is responsible for at least one real-life ghost town. Disney built the quote-unquote Treasure Island resort in Baker's Bay in the Bahamas. It didn't start as a ghost town. Disney's cruise ships would actually stop at the resort and leave tourists there to relax in luxury. This is a fact. Look it up. Disney blew $30 million on the place. Yes, $30 million. Then they abandoned it. Disney blamed the shallow waters, too shallow for their ships to safely operate, and even blamed cast on the workers, saying that since they were from the Bahamas, they were too lazy to work on a regular schedule. That's where the factual nature of their story ends. It wasn't because of sand, and it obviously wasn't because of foreigners are lazy. Both are convenient excuses. No, I sincerely doubt those reasons were legitimate. Why don't I buy the official story? Because of Mowgli's palace. Near the beachside city of Emerald Isle in North Carolina, Disney began construction of Mowgli's Palace in the late 1990s. The concept was a jungle-themed resort with a large, you guessed it, palace in the center of the whole thing. If you're unfamiliar with the character of Mowgli, then you might better remember the story Jungle Book. If you haven't seen it anywhere else, you'd known it as the Disney cartoon from decades past. Mowgli is an abandoned child in the jungle, essentially raised by animals and simultaneously threatened/pursued by other animals. Mowgli's Palace was a
Heavy, I didn't
controversial
know you were into
undertaking.
Disney.
What?
Oh my god. I didn't. Are you Mowgli?
Ow!
Are you Mowgli?
I think he's Mowgli.
Wait, how
I think so,
how am I
too.
Mowgli? What?
Because you were raised by animals in the forest,
In the jungle, not just the
in the
forest.
jungle.
No. I've
And then
never been to the jungle.
you're threatened and pursued by other animals.
If you mean
Those
you,
animals
then
being
yes.
shaggy.
And I don't need to
Alright, we
insult
can
the furry
continue.
community. Anyway,
I will do what I please.
Mowgli's palace was a controversial undertaking from the start. Disney bought up a ton of high-priced land for the project, and there was actually a scandal surrounding some of the purchases. Local government claimed eminent domain on people's homes and then turned around and sold the properties to Disney. At one point, a home that had just been constructed was immediately condemned with little to no explanation. The land grab by the government was supposedly for some fictional highway project, knowing full well what was going on. People started calling it Mickey Mouse Highway. Then there was the concept art. A group of stuffed shirts from Disney Co. actually held a city meeting. They intended to sell everyone on how lucrative this project was going to be for everyone. When they showed the concept art, this gigantic Indian palace surrounded by jungle, staffed with men and women in loincloths and tribal gear, well, suffice to say, everyone flipped their shit. We're talking about a large Indian palace, jungle and loincloths not only in the center of a relatively wealthy area, but also somewhat xenophobic area of the southern USA. It was a questionable mix at this point in history. One member of the crowd tried to storm the stage, but he was quickly subdued by security after he managed to break one of the presentation boards over his knee. Disney took that community and essentially broke it over its knee as well. The houses were razed and the land was cleared. And there wasn't a damn
Oh,
thing anyone could do or say about it. Local TV and newspapers were against the resort at the beginning, but some insane connection between Disney's media holdings and the local venues came into play and their opinions turned on a dime. So anyway, Treasure Island, the Bahamas. Disney sunk those millions in and then split. The same thing happened with Mowgli's palace. Construction was complete. Visitors actually stayed at the resort. The surrounding communities were flooded with traffic, and then the usual annoyances start associated with an influx of loss and irate tourists. Then it all just stopped. Disney shut it down, and nobody knew what the hell to think. But they were pretty happy about it. Disney's loss was pretty hilarious and wonderful to a large group of folks who didn't want this in the first place. I honestly didn't give the place another thought since hearing it closed over a decade ago. I live maybe 4 hours from Emerald Isle, so I really only heard the rumblings and didn't experience any of it firsthand. Then I read this article from someone who had explored the Treasure Island resort and posted a whole blog about all the crazy shit he found there. Stuff just left behind. Things smashed, defaced, probably ruined by the disgruntled former employees who had lost their jobs. Hell, the locals from all around probably had a hand in wrecking that place. People there felt just as angry about Treasure Island as folks did about Mowgli's Palace. Plus, there were rumors that Disney had released their aquarium stock into the local waters when they closed, including sharks. Who wouldn't want to take a few swings at some merchandise after that? Well, what I'm getting at is that this blog about Treasure Island got me thinking. Even though many years had passed since its closing, I figured it might be cool to do some urban exploration at Mowgli's Palace. Take some photos, read about my experience, probably see if there was anything I could take home as a memento. Not going to say I wasted no time in getting there, because honestly, it took me another year after I first found out the Treasure Island article to get around to going up to Emerald Isle. Over the course of that year, I did a lot of research on the Palace Resort, or rather, I tried to. Naturally, no official Disney site or resource made any mention of the place that had been scrubbed clean. Even odder, however, was that nobody before myself had apparently thought to blog about the place or even post a photo. None of the local newspaper sites had one word about the place, though that was to be expected because they had all swung Disney's way. They wouldn't be out there lauding their embarrassment, you know? Recently, I learned that corporations can actually ask Google, for example, to remove links from such results, basically for no good reason. Looking back, it's probably not that nobody spoke of the resort, but rather their words were made inaccessible. So in the end, I could barely find the place. All I had to go on was an old as hell map I'd received in the mail back in the 90s. It was a promotional item sent out to people who had recently been to Disney World, and I guess since I had been there in the late 80s, that was recent. I didn't really intend to hang on to it. It just got shoved in with my books and comics from my childhood. I'd only remembered it months into my research, and even then, it took me another few weeks to locate the storage bin, but my parents had shoved it in all into. But I did find it. Locals were no help, as most were transplants who had moved to the beach in recent years, or old residents who just sneered at me and made rude gestures the second I managed to say, "Where would I find Mowgli's?" The drive took me through an inordinarily long corridor of overgrowth, tropical plants that had run rampant and overpopulated the area, mixed with native species of flora that actually belonged there and had tried to reclaim the land. I was in awe when I reached the front gates of the resorts. Tremendous, monolithic wooden gates, whose supports to either side looked like they must have been cut from giant sequoias. The gate itself had been gouged in several places by woodpeckers and eaten away at the base by burrowing insects. Hanging onto the gate was a sheet of metal, some random scrap with hand-painted letters scrawled in black, "Abandoned by Disney." Clearly the handiwork of some past local or an employee who wanted to make some small protest. The gates were open enough to walk through but not drive, so grabbing my digital camera and map, whose flip side showed a layout of the resort, I set off on foot. The inner grounds of the place were just as overgrown as the entryway. Palm tree. Wow, that's awful. Palm trees stood unattended and ragged among piles of their own coconuts. Banana plants similarly stood in their own stinking bug-riddled refuse. There was this sort of clash between order and chaos, as carefully planned rows of perennial flowers mixed with obnoxious tall weeds and stinking blackened mushrooms. All that remained of any outdoor structures were broken, rotting wood and various charred bits of unidentifiable material. What was most likely an information booth or outdoor bar was now simply a pile of assorted debris chopped up by past vandalism and ravaged by weather. The most interesting thing on the grounds was a statue of Baloo, the friendly bear from the Jungle Book, which stood in a sort of courtyard in front of the main building. He was frozen in a jovial wave toward no one, staring into empty space with a silly, toothy grin as bird shit covered the whole swaths of his fur and vines ensnared his platform. I approached the main building, the palace, only to find the outside of the building was covered in graffiti where the original paint hadn't peeled and chipped away. The front doors weren't just open, they had been taken off their hinges and stolen. Above the front doors,
In Chicago.
can't have shit in Detroit.
It's
Can't have
Detroit, isn't
shit in
it?
North Carolina.
You can't
Yeah.
have shit in America.
You can't have
Oh
shit.
no,
It's mine now.
dude, the
You guys keep
Europeans,
going. I have to use the bathroom.
the Europeans are gonna hear us say you can't have shit in America, and they're gonna be like, haha, silly Americans. And it's like, man,
They're not allowed to talk.
Europeans are. Europe is such an easy country to rage bait.
hmm This this is the part
Yeah,
where we get
right.
banned from the UK.
Oh no, don't worry, we can say pollywhacker, and King Charles the shit is gonna throw a fit and cry and ban it off the
Listen.
internet.
If we do get any retaliation from the British, we can just report them to the police.
If we do get any
It's
retaliation
that
from the
simple.
British, you know what we'll do? You know what we'll do is we'll just send a picture of us going to a lake and throwing a box of tea in the lake. Not even good tea. And then we'll tell them we don't have an electric kettle, and the brain will just fucking.
Hold on, let me rage bait the UK real quick. I microwave my tea.
Oh, I microwave my water. I make cold tea.
No, what I do is I microwave my tea just so that way I can put ice in it and wait for it to turn to iced tea.
You know what I do? I use seasoning.
Ah, true. You know what I do?
What?
Post politically radical things onto my social media platforms with no issue from local law enforcement.
Start of the episode, not to get political halfway through. I post politically radical things on
I
my
post
Instagram.
political radically things on my social media. By the way, my social media is tagged in the description below.
There is no politically radical things because he is too much of a wuss to say it.
I haven't posted anything in like months, which I need to change, but I spend all my time editing.
Yeah, you're like a little guinea pig down there running on a little wheel.
Yeah.
Keep working. No, I can't do that. Right as I went, no, I'm not going to do that. You just went, I was going to wait for him to get back.
You know what else I'm able to do?
Pray.
True. I'm also able to carry a knife without that being a problem.
You were also able to carry a gun without getting
True.
arrested by the police without carrying a gun in the middle of Abbey Street on a Tuesday.
You know what
License.
else I'm able to do?
Watch TV
Indeed. Without a license.
without a license.
You hear that, British people? My TV's undocumented.
You know what I need to? You know what I get to do?
What?
Play Steam without having to have a credit card.
You know what I get to do?
What?
I get to sign into Instagram without age verification.
You know what I get to do?
What?
Rage bait Europeans online.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Such an easy city to rage bait.
Indeed.
You guys are still on about that?
When you left, it
Literally
was such
the
an easy.
entire time we've been doing nothing but just making fun of the UK.
Valid. It sucks I missed out.
Hey, you
You'll
know what
see
I
it
get to
in
do?
the official edit.
You know what I get to do?
What?
Live rent free in the Europeans' minds.
Ah, we all get
You
to
know what I
do
get
that.
to do?
What do you get to do, waifu? Oh my!
We're cutting that one too. Oh my god.
Oh, dude. Oh.
So, to get back onto the subject with Abandoned by Disney. Now, I know that it takes a lot of space and area to be able to buy up like all this. It takes a lot of space to be able to install these Disney parks and all that stuff. And from what I remember, you can't really use too much of that land after Disney kind of abandons those areas because now it's all flooded with water and rails and all that stuff. And they still do technically own a bunch of that land, don't they?
Yes.
They would, yeah.
Because the way that Disney operates is they own the land and then they can just do whatever the hell they want with it. Wasn't that like an issue in Florida? Like Disney tried declaring that they were an independent state or something?
They quoted like Ron DeSantis. Governor Ron
Why do you sound so far away?
Probably because he's far away. He's getting
Probably 'cause
kidnapped
I'm
by
far.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
He's getting like dragged out the door and it's like, ha, you're coming with me, motherfucker!
No, I was getting tea. I was getting sweet tea for you Europeans who hate sweet tea, American
Sweet
style.
iced tea? How dare you? Oh my god.
And I'm drinking it out of one of my really fancy cups of China.
Waifu, what you drinking?
Nothing right now.
Oh, I'm drinking some Gamer Sups out of my
I could
Gamer
ask,
Sups cup.
dude, I only have one tub of Gamer Subs left. Because
Oh,
all the others expired and got like really hard.
Yeah, that happened to me. That I had
They got what?
I had a whole tub of guacamole Gamer Fart and it expired and it's so difficult saying the names of these flavors.
Oh, the one I have is like completely fine to say.
What is
Acid
it?
Rain is the
Acid
only
Rain?
flavor I
Acid
have.
Rain's so good.
It is
Check.
very yummy.
The chat. That's what I'm drinking out of.
Yeah, I saw. I'm currently
My love.
drinking Chug Jug. I'm drinking the Chug Jug flavor out of. I don't know if any of you guys know who Smug Alana is.
How
No.
do you spell that?
No? I can type it into the chat in a second. But she's a VTuber. She released a shaker cup, and she's one of the only VTubers that I watch with some consistency aside from like Kirsha and
Oh, I'd like you guys to know I have this screenshot and it's fantastic. I thank you for giving me this screenshot.
I'm so scared.
Good stuff.
I really love this. I also have a craving for flesh. Eat a cheeseburger. Cheese chirp. Beast chirp. I'm a whack enough to be jobbed. Bid him.
And I took a screenshot of the GIF at the perfect time.
I like how it makes it look like I just like walked up to Joe Biden and went, Joe! And then like snapped a picture of him.
We're getting so off topic so fast. So, back to Abandoned by Disney. Announcer.
Yeah.
Don't the whole thing with them
Oh yeah.
purchasing
I don't remember the exact thing.
did hold on, let me just Google this.
But
Did
they ask
Disney try
they
to become an independent state? No, they did never tried it. Extensive self-governing power. So they were able to govern themselves in Florida. Um, okay, so they were separate govern. Okay, so the arrangement they had, they essentially operated like a government. That was independent
yeah.
and
On April 22nd, 2022, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill that strips Walt Disney Company of its special status that previously allowed it to function as its own municipal government. This move marks the culmination of a recent feud between the state of Florida and one of its largest, most recognizable companies.
yeah. So, and then Disney owns a bunch of land, and the places that they abandoned, do they still like keep ownership of that, or do they sell it?
They no on
They don't sell it.
Disney parks, like on all of their like, especially Disney World,
Mm-hmm.
all their abandoned property is legit just abandoned. Like when you're on, it's sad that they're not doing the boat tours anymore. But when you were on the boat tours, you would see remnants of their old narrow gauge train line just sitting on the side.
Okay.
Like
So
if you brought a pair of binoculars with you, you could look into the sea like
and
stuff. Like
see like
they just don't clean it. They just leave it.
so they any of the places that they abandoned, they just still keep ownership of.
Yes, because
Okay.
they don't. Disney does not like giving up anything.
They don't like sharing. That is
Yeah,
very
no.
fair. They're not even really happy about the whole Spider-Man situation. I don't know. If we ever got the opportunity to like go to an abandoned Disney resort to look around it, would you guys go?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I think I'd just go just to say that I went. Like that sounds
That's
pretty
fair.
awesome. I've always wanted to do like go to a urban exploration place that's like really big, because most of the places we've been to are a bit smaller. It's usually abandoned farmhouses and stuff. We live in the Midwest. There's not really too many places to go. Apparently, there are some
Y'all
ghost towns
live
that we
in
can go check out, but if I were to explore an abandoned Disney park, I would need to go to a Disney park first, so that way I can compare like, oh, this is all the stuff they kept. This is all the stuff they left behind. I'm certain most of the stuff they leave behind is like all just structural, like just concrete foundations and all that stuff. I don't think they leave behind anything too major.
I'm not sure.
Like a place like Mowgli's Palace has to be like a gold mine because from the sounds of it, they just up and left the entire resort behind. They didn't try to tear down anything. Even if it's not even a Disney resort, even if it's just a resort that is just left abandoned, I think that'd be pretty cool to explore.
Yes.
You see like all the urban exploring videos on Instagram where they're like checking out abandoned theaters and industrial complexes and all that stuff, which it seems pretty fun to explore those bigger places, and I'd love to go check some of those places out. It's just we currently do not have the means to.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Yes,
Sorry, I
time to
had to
continue.
tuck in my dog.
Ah, little EP baby.
Yeah. Above the front doors, or the gaping maw where they had been, Someone had once again painted "Abandoned by Disney." I wish I could tell you about all the awesome stuff I saw in the palace. Forgotten statues, abandoned cash registers, a full-fledged secret society of homeless bums, but no. The inside of the building was so stark, so bare that I actually think people had stolen the molding off the walls. Anything that was too big to steal, counters, desks, giant fake trees, they were all resting amid this empty echo chamber that amplified my every step in a slow rat-a-tat of a machine gun. I checked the floor plan and headed to all the locations that might seem in any way interesting. The kitchen was, as you imagined, an industrial food prep area with all the appliances and space. No expense spared. Every glass surface was broken, every door knocked off its hinges, every metal surface kicked in and dented. The entire place smelled like very old piss. The huge freezer, not even remotely cool now, had row upon row of empty shelf space. Hooks hung from the ceiling, probably for hanging cuts of meat, and as I stood inside for a moment, I noticed they were swinging. Each hook swung in a random direction, but their movements were so slow, small, it was almost impossible to see. I figured it had been caused by my footsteps, so I stopped one from swinging by clutching it in my fist, then carefully letting go. But in seconds, it started to swing once more. The bathrooms were in much the same state as the rest of the place, just like the Treasure Island resort. Someone had methodically smashed each porcelain commode with coconuts or other implements. There was about half-inch of rancid, stinking, stagnant water on the floor, so I didn't stay there very long. What's odd is that the toilets and the sinks and the bidets in the ladies' room, yes, I'm there, all dripped, leaked, or just ran freely. It seemed to me that they should have shut off water long, long ago. There were plenty of rooms and sort, but naturally I didn't have time to look through them all. The few I did peer into were similarly wrecked, and I didn't expect to find anything there. I thought there was actually a television or radio in one, as I really think I heard a quiet conversation coming out. Though it was like a whisper, probably my own breathing echoing in the silence, or just another case of the sound flowing water playing tricks on the mind. This is what it sounded like.
I didn't believe it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Your father.
I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm just telling you what I experienced. Why I thought there might have been something running in that room, or worse, some vagrants who had holed up there and probably would have knifed me.
I'm okay. So I know we just were talking, but I'm going to pause again. If you can hear clear conversation and you can tell like there isn't like a TV or radio, I don't know about you, but I'm hauling ass. Cause
Well,
that's either security or that's either a homeless person, and I don't want to encounter either when I'm urban exploring.
that's where you pull out the 1, 2, and go on with your day. It's made
True.
over.
So
Counterpoint.
when we're
Actually,
editing,
waifu, go first.
Reddish said probably would have knifed me. You got to put the thing I put in Discord up.
Okay. So counterpoint to what announcer is saying. Sure, worst case scenario, if a homeless person is charging us, by all means, do the quick 1, 2. But if it's a security guard or like a property owner or something, you are technically trespassing, and
You're not trespassing if you give them the quick. Shh, shh.
Then the property owner thinks he's
the
trespassing.
not no not like you don't have any grounds to shoot someone because you're trespassing. Uh, so I think it's I don't know about the 1, 2 thing, but if by all means it's a homeless person, then yeah, if they try to start something or attack me or anything like that, um, I think that's fair.
I like how my joke went right over your head and you took it literally.
What joke?
Oh my God.
Exactly.
And anyway, I just wanted to mention that, like, if I was, because he's like, I didn't know if it was just like a radio or running water or something like that, and it's like you are hearing clear sentences. That is not running water. What are you talking about?
Well, that's why you give him the 1-2, but apparently you're just a fun killer and don't like to shoot people. I'm convinced that your gun is airsoft now. Anyway,
Like the one you shot me in the face with?
I, you
Oh,
know, I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could threaten you right now.
Read the damn story.
As I looked out the door, I noticed something interesting in the courtyard that I had apparently missed. Something that would have given me at least one thing to show for all my trouble, even if it was just a photograph. There was a lifelike statue of a python, maybe 80 feet long, coiled up and sunning itself on a pedestal right in the center of the area. It was almost time for the sun to start setting, so the light fell onto the object in the perfect way for a photograph. I approached the python and snapped a photo. Then I stood on my toes and snapped another. I moved closer again to get the detail of its face. Slowly, casually, the python lifted its head, looked directly into my eyes, turned, and slithered off the pedestal across the grass and into the trees. All 80 feet of it. Its head long disappeared into the woods before its tail even left the sunning spot.
Okay, so I'm just going to point out. Now I've listened to this story before. I will say this. Every single time that I've ever listened to this story, usually because it's urban exploring and I like urban exploring, I imagine myself also urban exploring this. And the amount of goosebumps I get when I get to this Python section is I hate it every single time. Obviously, ignoring the
Now,
very fantastical element of it being an 80-foot python, just a python in general, I just don't like the idea of being any sort of proximity for if there isn't some barrier between us.
is
there's
gonna
that one
stop.
guy. He's always in like the Florida Everglades.
The Yoink Man.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yoink Man.
Get the
I
Yoink
think
Yoink.
Man
that's
on
what
this
killed
case.
him.
I got an 80-foot friend noodle, and he just like picks it up with one hand.
Casually.
Oh,
And
look.
so, if the voices didn't send me out, this would have. Because,
Yeah.
hell no. Even if it's an 8-foot python, I wouldn't want to be near that. How would you guys feel if you were walking around and you saw a big python just kind of there as you're urban
How big?
exploring? How big? I'd
This
say
big?
let's do your reaction to it being 80 feet and then something more realistic of it being 8 feet.
If it's 80 feet, I'm leaving. If
Yeah,
it's
I'm
eight
I'm
foot,
fucking running.
Yeah.
if it's 8 foot, nah. It's a python. It's not venomous.
Do you know, like, pythons are constrictors. They will fuck you up if they get a hold of you, dude.
Yes, but if we are ever urban exploring together, we will have a weapon of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
Has an
but
80
that's a
that's always
non-issue.
smart to have if you're going like any type of hiking.
Has an
He's just keeping a
80-foot
weapon on you.
python developed an immunity to 17 rounds of 9 mil?
I'll do you one
Try.
better. 9 millimeters for the body. I got the 45. That's for the
He
soul.
getting it at its soul.
I'll get it at the body.
I'll get the body too. There's 80 feet of it. It's not like we're going to be missing. So, the
I don't
the
know,
other
man. You
thing.
missed a lot of rabbits when we were hunting.
So did your brother. I don't want to. I don't. Considering I got the second highest amount of
Fair.
rabbits, I don't want anybody to give me crap about my aim because I still hit plenty of my shots.
You really did. I can't believe my brother didn't hit a single one.
He tagged one, and then I had to put it down, so I still count that as my kill. Hold on. What
'Cause it's-
is... I'm
Anyway,
looking up the largest python because
we're
it's 32 feet is the longest python ever found. It was a reticulated python. So, well, I think genuinely, it might have been an exaggeration that it was 80 feet. But if I see, like, because these pythons can get to, it really depends on how well they eat and then how well they stay healthy. So a python could feasibly get to beyond 32 feet. It's just the only one that's been found is 32 feet. Even still, a 32-foot python is way larger than I would ever want to see in a snake. Like, even if it's 32 feet, I'm hauling ass out of there. And you're, hold on, how long? Yeah, okay. So the the largest python or constrictor just in general is the Titanoboa, which is a prehistoric python. That only got to 42 feet is the longest specimen we found. So this is like a beyond prehistoric size of a snake.
How thick do you think its body is?
The 80-foot python or the Titanoboa?
80. 80.
80 foot? Oh, you could probably like walk straight into that thing's mouth. Hold on, let me drop a. So there was a realistic model of a Titanoboa done. I don't remember who the artist was, but they did like they looked at a bunch of fossil records and evidence and all that stuff, and they've built like a life size accurate model Titano of a Titanoboa, and it is very intimidating of a creature. I need to organize my computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so this. That is 42 feet of a snake.
Jesus.
And then the 32. This is the largest python that was caught. That's the 32-foot specimen. So it's not like a direct one-to-one.
Where'd you send it?
I'm sending it now. So this is the 32-foot python, I believe.
Yeah, so I
Okay,
don't think
if it was
it would get much thicker than that.
Yeah, they usually don't, but I'm just saying like what I would imagine the way that I would imagine and how they're describing this story is they're trying to describe a Titanoboa, but in reality it'd probably be something like an actual python.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming like the pedestal he's talking about is like a 6 to 8 foot pedestal, and then the snake's sitting on top of that.
Yeah.
I don't imagine the pedestal being much taller than that.
All right, let's continue.
Indeed.
Disney had released all their exotic animals onto the grounds. Right there on my floor plan map was the reptile house. I should have known. I'd read about the sharks at Treasure Isle, and I should have known they'd done this. I was dumbfounded, just utterly stupefied. My mouth must have been hanging open for the longest time before I came back down to earth and snapped it shut. I blinked a few times and backed away from where the snake had been, back towards the palace. Even though it was totally gone, I still wasn't taking any chances and backed my way into the building. It took a few deep breaths and slaps in my own face to get myself right in the head again after that.
One more
I
thing.
looked.
Sorry for side tangenting so much. Did you guys hear about the alligator that made its way into one of the Disney parks?
No.
Okay, so
Yes. Didn't it get a
yes,
kid?
it did get a kid. It was hanging out in one of the water sections, and the kid walked up to it and
Yeah.
it jumped out and dragged him in. I don't know how long
Yeah.
it took for them to be able to find the kid again, but unfortunately, the kid was deceased after that.
When was this?
I think it was like early 2000s.
Oh, God.
2016, so mid 2000s. Grabbed a 2-year-old boy who was playing by a lagoon in the Grand Floridian Resort and dragged into the water. The incident led to the closure of Disney's World's beaches and the installation of a new, more explicit gator warning signs throughout the resort. It was at the Seven Seas Lagoon.
Damn.
So,
All
Yeah.
right, let's continue.
16 hours was how long he was gone. Anyway, sorry.
It took a few deep breaths and slaps to my own face to get myself right in the head after that. I looked for a place to sit down as my legs were feeling a bit like jelly at this point. Of course, there was no place to sit down unless I wanted to recline in the broken glass and dead leaf carpet or haul myself onto a desk of questionable reliability. I'd seen some stairs near the palace's lobby and decided to go there and have a seat there until I felt better. The staircase was far away enough from the front of the building to be relatively clean, save for a starting accumulation of dust. I pulled a wedge of metal off the wall, once again painted with the Abandoned by Disney model I'd become accustomed to. I placed the wedge on the stairs and sat on it to keep at least somewhat clean. The stairway led downward below the ground level. Using my camera flash as a sort of improvised flashlight, I could see that the staircase ended in a metal mesh door with a padlock. The sign on the door, a real sign, read, "Mascots only, thank you." This perked up my spirits a bit for two reasons. One, a mascots only area would have definitely had some interesting stuff back in the day. Two, the padlock was still in place. Nobody had gone down there. The vandals, not the looters, nobody. This was the one place I could actually explore and perhaps find something interesting to photograph, or want only steal. I had come to the palace essentially agreeing with myself that it was okay to take anything I wanted because, hey, abandoned. That's not what that means. It didn't take much to bust the lock. Well, actually, that's wrong. It didn't take much to bust the metal plate on the wall that the padlock was hooked to. Time and decay had done most of the work for me. I was able to bend the metal plate enough to pull all the screws out of the wall. Something nobody else had apparently thought of or hadn't been able to do at the time. The mascots only area was a startling, welcome change from the rest of the building I'd seen. For one, every second or third fluorescent light overhead was illuminated, even though they flickered and faded randomly. Also, nothing had been stolen or broken, even if age and exposure were definitely taking their toll. Tables had notepads and pens. There were clocks, even a punch-in clock on the wall, complete with filled-out time cards. Chairs were scattered around, and there was even a small break room with an old static-filled television and long rotted-out drink on the counters. It was like one of those post-apocalyptic movies where everything is left in the state of evacuation. As I walked the maze-like sub-basement hallways of the mascots only area, the sights just became more and more interesting. As I went further, the desks and tables were knocked over, papers scattered and almost melded with the damp floor. A large carpet of mold was slowly overtaking the real rotting crimson floor covering. Everything was just sort of squishy, and anything wood disintegrated into mush when I applied even the least amount of force. Clothing items hanging on hooks in one of the rooms simply fell to moist threads if I unhooked them. One thing that annoyed me was that the light was becoming more sparse and unreliable as I went further into the dank, suffocating depths of the place. Eventually, I reached a black and yellow striped door with the words "Character Prep 1" stenciled on it. The door wouldn't open at first. I figured this was probably where the costumes were kept, and I definitely wanted a photograph of what twisted, stinking mess. Try as I might, whatever angle or trick I tried, the door wouldn't budge. That is, until I gave up and started to walk away. That's when there was a slight popping sound, and the door creaked open slowly. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm gone.
He's like, yeah, no, bye.
There's
You
a
get
fucking
back
I'd
cloud of
be
dust.
gone at the sight of mold.
Well, here's
That's not true.
You're just breathing that in.
So we wear respirators, so we'd probably
Yeah.
still go down there. So if for whatever reason we didn't turn back at the voices, we didn't turn back at the giant snake, I probably would have turned back when the door opened on its own.
Yeah.
No, like the door opens and whatever the hell is in there is just a dust outline of me, and then like fire on the ground. I took off.
Then it's gonna
I
cut
skipped.
to your empty spot. Then it's gonna cut to me and Stevie doing the running in place thing before just bolting off.
No,
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like
Just, uh,
I'm like standing there pointing my light at the door, and it's like, do you guys see this shit? And I turn around, and you're both just gone. It's like, guys, what the fuck? Our radios crackle on, and it's like, we're waiting out the car for you. Come back when you can.
It's already warm.
you search your pocket for your keys. Too bad I ate them.
We're going to be at the Taco Bell that's 3 miles away. Have fun walking, loser. So
I think,
realistically, how far would you got? Like, say all three of us individually went down this. Realistically, when would you turn around?
I think the giant snake, all of us would just fucking leave. How about that one?
I
yeah,
would I would have left at the talking. I'm going to be dead honest. Especially if I'm by myself.
say we're all together.
Say we're all together.
Yeah, it'd be the snake.
Realistically, it
I'd
would
leave with the
either be
snake.
the snake or right here. Because we'd all be carrying. We all wouldn't be too worried about the snake if we were all carrying.
And especially if it just, kind of went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It looked at us. It was like, nah,
Well, so
and then
the
left.
the other thing is snakes don't really need a lot to they don't need to eat a lot. They eat something and then they're good for a couple of weeks if not months, depending on the size of the meal. And that was obviously a very well-fed snake.
Clearly.
However, I'd still understand if we'd all decide like, yeah, let's beat feet and get the fuck out.
I think collectively we'd all be like, yeah, this thing is too dangerous to keep alive, and we'd just, like, unload.
No, no, I would only because there's no telling how thick its bone is.
Shoot it in the head.
This is a small
Yeah,
target.
Times.
if it's 80 feet, if it's the size of the snake you sent earlier, then it's not a small target.
If it's the size of the
But
snake we sent
imagine how
earlier,
thick
take a
its
video
bone.
of it and then send that to the local police and then let them deal with it. It's their problem at that point.
Send it to the local National Guard.
Anyway, yeah, I'd say the snake was probably where we'd all turn around at. So this dude's in. Also, he said that he's walking through this area using the flash of his camera.
Dude, I was gonna say earlier, I think that is such a horrible idea.
It
It's
is.
like there's some games that like make you use the flash of your camera to see, and that shit's terrifying.
Lethal Company, you know how you can do like that helmet area scan? I use that
Dude, that's
whenever.
exactly what it is.
That's exactly what that feels like because you flash, you get like a brief instance, and then everything's black again. I would not want to navigate using the flash of a camera.
Hell, I'd rather use my carbide miner's lantern.
I have like this little crappy like wind up flashlight that I keep in case I don't have any other flashlights in my car. And I keep a few flashlights on me in my car at a given moment. So I I don't know. I couldn't even think like not having a respirator. I could understand that because you have to be kind of deep into urban exploring to think about a respirator. Not having a flashlight, I feel like is crazy. Like at the very least, a flashlight and like a bandana to cover your face.
Yeah.
If you
Anyway,
want to get like in the weeds about it with us, respirator, flashlight, a bare minimum knife at least, a first aid kit, water. Like you, there are different amounts of elaboration you can get with it. I'm gonna let us get back to the story now.
inside the room was completely no fucking way. All right, I guess we're inside the room that magically popped open.
I walked into the room that mysteriously opened and has been beckoning my name with the distant chant of Latin in the background. It's probably nothing.
Inside the room was completely dark, pitch black. I used the camera flash to look for a light switch in the wall by the door. There's nothing. As I made my search, I was jarred out of my sense of excitement by a loud electrical buzz. Rows of lights overhead suddenly flashed to life, flickering and fading in and out like the rest I had passed. It took a second for my eyes to adjust, and it seemed like the light was going to just keep getting brighter until the bulbs exploded. But when I thought it would reach that critical stage, the lights dimmed but steadied. The room was exactly as I had pictured it. Various Disney costumes hung on the walls, fully put together like strange cartoon cadavers hung from invisible nooses. There was an entire rack of loincloths, native clothes on hangers towards the back. What I found odd and what I wanted to photograph right away was a Mickey Mouse costume at the center of the room. Unlike the other costumes, it was lying on its back in the center of the floor like a murder victim. You might not be wrong. The fur on the costume was rotten and shredding, creating bare patches. What was even odder, however, was the coloring of the costume. It was like a photo negative of the actual Mickey Mouse. Black where he should be white, and white where he should be black. His normally red overalls were light blue. The sight was off-putting enough that I actually put off photographing the thing until last. Took a picture of the costumes hanging on the walls, upward angles, downward angles, side shots, to show an entire row of frozen, putrid cartoon faces, some with plastic eyes missing. Then I decided to stage a shot. Just one of the bedraggled character heads on the slick, grimy floor. I reached for the headpiece of Donald Duck costume and carefully removed it so the thing wouldn't fall apart in my hands. As I looked into the face of the wide-eyed, molding head, a loud clattering sound made me jump right. I looked down at my feet, and there between my shoes was a human skull. It had fallen out, and the mascot head had shattered into pieces at my feet. Only the empty face and lower jaw remained staring up at me. I dropped the duck head immediately, and as you'd expect, I moved for the door. As I stood in the doorway, I looked back at the skull on the floor. I had to take a picture of it, I had to, for any number of reasons that may seem silly, but only if you don't think it through. I need proof of what happened, especially if Disney was going to somehow make this go away. I had no doubt in my mind right from the start that even if it was just gross negligence, Disney was responsible for this. And that's when Mickey, that photo negative opposite Mickey in the middle of the floor, started to get up.
Hell no, dude.
You see, this is where we give the good one too. I don't know what's going on
And
with that Mickey.
3,
I just saw
4,
human
5,
remains.
6, 7, 8.
I'm giving him 1 through 45 because that's how many rounds that I'm going to keep on me. I'm mag dumping everything.
This is a check of, okay, I've got 15 plus 1.
My gun carries, I think it's 8
Come here,
plus
Mickey.
1.
Oh, Mickey Mouse, you're public domain now. Oh, can't have shit in Detroit.
I turn around and I see that Mickey starting to get up. I ain't letting that thing stand up.
All three of us are going to be like, dude, do not get the fuck up.
It's going to be like that one scene in RoboCop where all the gangsters are just gunning him down.
Except he's actually fucking dead when we're done with him.
So, I'm going to show the image that's most commonly associated. There are like 2 images, but this was the first one that popped up when I Googled like abandoned by Disney. This is what's most commonly associated with the story of like what the photo negative Mickey looks like. So imagine that just standing up after you found human remains. Hell no.
Yeah, watch my last words be something witty like, did Stinky wake up from a nap? And then Foxy jump scares me.
He just rips your head off. Like the Foxy jump scare just ho ho.
Looks like this Mickey Mouse is getting shot up, and then it's like,
All right, let's keep reading.
it was me holstering my gun. First, sitting up, then climbing to its feet. The Mickey Mouse costume, or whoever was inside of it, stood there at the center of the room. Its fake face staring directly at me as I mumbled "no" over and over. With shaking hands, a violently thrashing heart, and legs that had once again turned to jelly, I managed to lift the camera and aim at the opposite creature now quietly sizing me up. The digital camera's screen displayed only dead pixels in the shape of the thing. It was a perfect silhouette of the Mickey costume as the camera moved in my unsteady hands. The dead pixels spread. What?
Marring.
Oh my god, I read that as meringue. I was like, why is this guy making a pie? Marring the screen wherever Mickey's outline moved to. Then the camera died, went blank and quiet and broken. I raised my eyes once again to the Mickey Mouse costume.
Hey,
It said,
Okay.
I
No,
did my
no,
best.
no, nope, no,
No,
no, absolutely not.
I don't know how to do a Mickey Mouse impression.
no, that was a good
Then
Mickey Mouse impression. This is just a demonic Mickey.
I think okay. So if you read ahead a little,
It said in
it's
a
in a
hush,
hushed,
perverted but
perverted.
perfectly executed Mickey. Oh.
Hey, I have
Oh,
to
I
put.
hate that, but that's perfect.
I hate
Okay,
that.
okay. Hey,
Huh. It said in a hush, perverted but perfectly executed Mickey Mouse voice.
want to see my head come off?
Oh, it started to pull at its own head, working its clumsy glove-clad fingers around its neck, clawing impatient movements similar to a wounded man trying to pull himself free of a predator's jaws. As it worked digits into its neck, so much blood, so much thick, chunky, yellow blood. I turned away as I heard a sickening tearing of cloth and flesh, only cared about getting away. Above the doorway, out of this room, I saw the final message clawed into the metal with bone or fingernails. Abandoned by God. I never got the picture out of the camera. I never wrote the blog entry about it. After I ran from that place, I fled for my sanity, if not my very life. I knew why Disney didn't want anyone to know about this place. They didn't want anyone like me getting in. They didn't want anything like that getting out.
That was the first entry. What did you guys think?
It started off really slow, but
Hmm.
obviously this is a several entry story,
Yeah.
so it's all right if it starts a little slow. Towards the end, ugh.
So, do you think their turn to the supernatural there was too abrupt, or do you think that was well set up?
Too abrupt.
Too abrupt? Okay.
Yeah.
That is a common thing that people do talk about is that the transition from it being like an urban exploring story to a photo negative Mickey standing up and ripping off its own head was a little abrupt. I feel like when you read the later entries, it works. But standalone, I'd also do kind of agree it was really abrupt.
Um,
Because it kind of
I
just hands it to you, and then it's just like, all right, see you later.
with I I don't hate it.
Hmm. I Yeah, I don't hate it
I
either.
don't I don't hate.
I think it's really good, and apparently you guys were very creeped out by it speaking. So,
That's because of the way you made it sound.
oh, okay. Anyway, keep going. Announcer, you had something to say, right?
Oh, it was. It is kind of abrupt, but it does set it up
Mm-hmm.
in a sense of like you kind of know where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because you have the chains that like move in a breeze that doesn't exist, voices that you chase down corridors that always just seem to be around the corner, animals that cannot physically exist, and then you go down to an area that has been completely untouched by anyone else since it closed, and it's like a locked away evil of sorts. Like you can't, like he found out why that was locked up. Like it, he even stated that it looked like it was an air, it was a apocalypse movie where everything was left in a state of evacuation. So there's a possibility like they discovered that it was down there and they all just hauled ass out of there.
True, but that doesn't really explain the 80-foot python.
Yeah, if I had to try to play devil's advocate for the story on the 80-foot python, because I feel like the 80-foot python definitely takes you out a little bit, but I can also see how someone would exaggerate the size of a python if they saw a big ass python just kind of hanging out in front of you. You know?
Yeah,
Like if you see something really big, you're like, "Oh, I saw this spider. It was as big as my hand," and it's like maybe the size of a silver dollar, but it's still a big spider, and you want to express like this thing was way too big for me to be comfortable with, so the size of your hand would be more of an exaggeration, especially in the heat of the moment. So,
So you're saying I can say my penis is about the size of my hand?
okay. What did you guys think about the final quote of it being abandoned by Disney to abandoned by God for the last one?
I like that.
Waifu, what about you?
I wonder. I think mm, it's all right.
Okay. A lot of
Because I
people
mean, like you're
also
seeing throughout
complain
the
about that
entire
too.
part, it's abandoned by Disney, abandoned by Disney, abandoned by Disney. And then it's just in this one room. Like obviously it makes sense for it to be in this one room of abandoned by God, but
So there's an observation that I want to make. It's an observation out of all the people that I've seen talk about Abandoned by Disney that they haven't made about the story of Abandoned by Disney. But I can't explain the observation yet because it only makes sense once we get to Charybdis, which is the final entry. So I guess without any further thoroughfare, we should get into the second entry, which is Room Zero by
It's been a
Slimebeast.
while since.
Sorry.
No, it's been a while since I've written anything related to the Disney Corporation, and I'm sure you can understand why. A lot has been going on since my last post. I received a lot of questions and concern from folks who read my first-hand account of Mowgli's Palace, a resort that was built and abandoned by Disney. I want to thank everyone who mirrored my post. It's been taken down from a few places, mostly corporate sites that were easily leaned on by a larger power. However, for every nuked topic or disappearing blog post, it seemed like 100 more people have popped up. This is something they'll have to face. There's no turning back for them. None for me either. I'm definitely being followed. For the first month or two, I chalked it up to paranoia. Any casual glance or half smile in my direction set me off. Hair standing on the back of the neck and everything. For the first one, or rather, the first one I was actually able to spot was a telephone worker milling around my apartment complex. He was a middle-aged, doughy dressed, just as you'd expect, but something just seemed off about him. I couldn't place it, but I knew this wasn't just my imagination acting up. He was awkward and out of place, not somebody who was comfortable doing his routine job. Followed around a corner and only to lose him there. When I turned back to go home, there he was, staring directly at me, about 10 feet behind me, expressionless and cold.
exploring.
He asked. That was all he said. There was an accusing tone in his voice. Tell me what blue-collar phone jockey does that. I guess that's the worst part. Never feeling safe, never feeling alone. That and occasional Disney merchandise left somewhere for me to find. Little rubber Mickeys in the mailbox, a Disney Adventures magazine on my bookshelf. They hide little Mickeys everywhere. 3 circles, one big, two small, and the silhouette of the famous mouse's head. I've started keeping a running list of Mickeys I found. Coffee cup rings on my coffee table, one big, two small. Colored glass bottles left on the doorstep. Viewed from the top down, all red. Graffiti on the wall, on my way to work. A huge earth, small sun, and moon proper locations. They're everywhere. People have emailed me about this as well. If you repost anything, I have to say, you're going to start finding those son of a bitch outlines. I guarantee it. The best one by far, one that actually made me laugh because of the horror of it all, was a drawing in chalk next to my car. I was taken aback at first, walking through the parking garage, keeping an eye out for people following me. The outline seemed a perfect match for, well, a murder victim. You're probably familiar with, if you've read my past post, written in yellow paint, I'm sure was a single word: retract. The only good thing that has come out of this all is that I know I'm not the only one who's seen something I shouldn't have. I'm not going to give their names because, well, if I have to tell you why, you haven't been paying attention. Researcher goes to Disney parks whenever he can all throughout the year. He's not going to have fun, enjoy the rides, etc. He's looking for the gas gods. There's been a long tradition, apparently. People reporting strange patrons throughout the park, silent, motionless, staring patrons of every age, shape, and size, men, women, adults, children, and teens, all wearing Disney-themed gas masks. Way back when, Disney would get tons of complaints about oddly dressed folks following others around the park. Folks would then merge into crowds and disappear. Later on, the gas mask caused folks to draw other conclusions, and reports of possible terrorists and bombers started following. All of those reports most likely went straight into the trash can. I know I can't find any sign of any such occasions reported on by the media, although you should be aware of the fact Disney can pretty much control the press like no other. Researcher goes to the parks, talks to a few people, and tries not to draw any attention to himself. He'll just ask 3 or 4 families if they've seen his friend who's wearing a funny mask. He has yet to see a gas cot for himself, though on one occasion a child pointed him toward Frontier Town. As he raced through the crowd, he heard a single voice ahead cry,
Mommy, I want a goofy air mask too.
A fellow I'll call Lifeguard worked in a Disney water park from 2001 to 2003. He stood at the top of a huge water slide and made sure kids got too rowdy. He passed the kids through one at a time, telling them over and over again to be safe, keep their arms in, and so on. One day, as he tells us, this fat kid goes down the tube and doesn't come out the other end.
Damn it, he got stuck. Somebody go grab the butter, let's get him out.
No, he's just gonna eat it all.
Right. Get the margarine. It's healthier. He ain't gonna touch it.
One day, as he tells us, this fat kid goes down the tube and doesn't come out the other end. He sent 2 or 3 kids after. The whole thing moves as a steady clip. So naturally, you'd expect that if Fatty got stuck, the kids that followed him were stuck too. Not so. Only the big kid disappears. Everyone else comes out the other end, cheering and splashing like nothing's wrong. Lifeguard shuts down the slide, much to the aggravation of the kids waiting. Before he can go through any of Disney's strict procedures, splash! Fatty finally comes out. Staff members pulled the kid out of the water. He sank like a stone when he hit, his skin already blue and his eyes wide. All he would say was,
No face, kids.
and
Stop squeezing.
the kid was okay, in case you're wondering.
Why did you sound like Stitch?
Ohana means family, and if you've seen my new Stitch movie, family doesn't mean shit.
Or I haven't even seen it. I'm not going to.
The
They butchered.
sister legit just ditches Lilo and goes to college.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't
Ugh.
trying to sound like Stitch. I was trying to replicate the fat kid from Jeff the Killer.
Oh, no face, kids, and stop squeezing.
No face.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No face, kids. They were all skinny. They wanted me to eat
Oh my
a fiber
God.
bar.
Don't get that apple away from me. I'll die.
Oh my... Is that a salad? Is that what you guys eat here? Where's the pizza?
Where's the Taco Bell?
That'd be my
Anyway.
question if I got stuck in the slide dimension.
The kid was okay, in case you're wondering. He got carted off to the medical center. When Lifeguard was told to open the slide back up, he made a big stink about how it clearly wasn't safe. Despite his complaints, he was threatened with firing and begrudgingly opened the slide again. From that point on, he kept a closer eye on the kids. Every so often, they'd come out in the wrong order. Never as stunned as the fat kid, but always with a vague look of concern. A dreamy half-stupor that seemed as if they were trying to figure out what was reality. They'd take on some water and choke a bit, and they'd never come back up on to the ride again. I read his emails with the same sort of unease you might be feeling right now. I wanted him to share his own story, but in the end he didn't want to expose himself that way. I can't say I blame him. Snow White, which wasn't the actual role she played, was a character in the park. She had a nice little tidbit for me. You know what happens when a costume employee drops dead in his suit? Like 1 second he's taking a picture with little Jimmy, and the next he's had a fatal stroke. A second costume mascot in the area has to sit with the corpse on a curb or bench and wait for a designated dry cleaner to arrive and cart the body away in a discreet manner. All the while, patrons have no idea they're sitting with a dead body for photo ops. Feel free to check your photo albums at this point. That was bad, but another fellow, janitor, went completely off the creepy charts. Disney World, and probably others, is built with a series of underground tunnels just below your feet. 3 stories worth. Anything and everything you can imagine is down there for use of the employees. They're called utility doors. Basically, that's the reason you don't see characters out of place or janitors wandering through the park. They pop in and out of hidden doors and travel on a concealed town you're walking on. A janitor told me something that might be common knowledge, but was nonetheless news to me. Walt Disney had several apartment buildings built into his parks. There's one above Cinderella's castle, there's one in Pirates of the Caribbean ride, they're all over the place. More than that, there are nightclubs, a movie theater, a bowling alley, and much more, all behind doors built right into the whimsical facades you pass by without a second look. Club 22 is one such hidden area. If you have the cash to join exclusive club, you don't. Then you'll have access to it and much more. Club 22 is a place where anything goes. DisneyCo calls the places dark zones, spots where the squeaky clean visage of Mickey Mouse gives way to drinking, drugs, and yes, sex. Conversely, the rest of the park is the bright zone, with a few gray zone utilidors between. As far as janitor has said, it wasn't always that way. It was more of a slow decline and the gradual relaxation of social norms in that elite group. The reason he knows all of this? You may have already guessed. He's cleaned it. After a lengthy background check and a non-disclosure form, janitor moved up from a park attendant to one of the dark zone cleaning crew. Now, before you get some satanic human sacrifice vision in your head, janitor saw nothing of the sort. Lots of empty alcohol bottles, yes. Used condoms scattered like deflated New Year's balloons, oh yeah. He cleaned up his share of blood, piss, and vomit, but it was all down to the unrestricted behavior of patrons as opposed to any sort of cult behavior. At least that's how he sees it in retrospect. All that trash, that profane shit went into a furnace and mingled with the smoke of a quaint cottage's chimney. If you've been to Disney World, you've breathed ultra-condensed sin. Backing up this information was Hammer. Hammer mailed me the old-fashioned way. Though I don't know how he got my home address, he sent me photocopies of work papers proving his employment with the instruction to burn them when I was convinced, which I did gladly. Hammer worked around the Disney park doing demolition and construction. At one point, he approached a supervisor regarding some strange construction plans. There was wide, rectangular area marked off on the blueprints about the size of a supermarket. The area was left unnamed and only bore the words, "Do not dig." Not only was his supervisor in the dark, but he was super fucking purposefully in the dark. He didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to know about it, and ended the conversation with, "This space is intentionally left blank." Hammer didn't get it. The area seemed a waste of space and was directly conflicting with the work his team had been given. He started poking around the area on his off time, finally only a derelict steel door and a great span of concrete just beyond. It was a supermarket's worth of blank gray floor. Soon after, Hammer started picking gascots out of the crowds. Unlike all other reports, the people, things, would stand in full view of the guy, cluster together in the distance, or they'd just be pressed against the wall when he turned a corner. He said they moved weird, like they were weak or injured, or like a deer that's been run down by a hunter and can't flee anymore. The gas masks, the Disney character faces with filters jammed in. He noted that they seemed wet on the inside, like condensation on a car window. Tiny beads of water glimmered behind the glass, making it impossible for any of them to actually see. Probing further, Hammer started asking questions of anyone and everyone who'd been working in the park for a decade or more. He hit dead ends throughout until he was directed to Ida, an elderly woman who worked in a restaurant on Main Street. She'd been there since way back, and though nobody had balls to ask directly, everyone knew she had plenty of terrible stories to tell. Hammer asked about the empty space, then about the gas mask customers, and at first he thought he would receive the same non-answers he'd gotten. So she was quiet, eerily quiet.
All right, we're going to pause right there for a second because there are a few things that I'd like to bring up. So, obviously, the gascots, the gas masks with Mickey faces on them, those are real. Utilidors, those are real. Club 22 is real, which is part of the reason why I think even with the abrupt nature of the first post is why Abandoned by Disney is regarded in such a decent light is because Slimebeast definitely took the time to look into like all these different things that are talked about within Disney parks, or they're like Easter eggs of sorts. There's a specific shade of green that was developed by Disney. I forget the proper name of it, but it's like designed to not be noticeable. Like people's eyes just wander directly over it without even thinking that it's there. And they use that to hide various different types of construction and just things that they don't want the public looking at because they surround it all with these much more vibrant and fluorescent colors. Another thing with the going back to the mascots where it's like, oh yeah, if a mascot drops dead, you have to sit next to it and act like nothing's wrong. Which, firstly, must be horribly traumatizing to whoever has to sit next to it. Because, like, I saw you this morning and now I'm not going to see you again. But the other thing with that is, you know the rule with character actors in Disney parks, right?
Not all of them, but
Yeah.
So one of the rules is you can't say I played, like for example, say I played Mickey Mouse. I can't say I was Mickey Mouse as a mascot in Disney parks. They have to refer to it by contract as my friend Mickey because they want to keep the illusion of the mascots are real and you are just separate from the mascots.
yeah.
Let me actually look up that shade of green. It's called Go Away Green. I don't know, are there any like good examples of it? Not really.
Let me.
Light poles.
Yeah. I'll throw up some examples of Go Away Green being shown in the video, but I'm certain you guys have already Googled it and seen what it looks like.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
see it.
So yeah, they developed that paint color specifically to
It almost
hide it.
like looking at it, it almost makes your eyes want to look away from it.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's designed to do that. You look away from it so that way you're focusing on everything else. That way they can hide all this different stuff. And it's mainly just like hiding uh light pole, just generic stuff that would break the magic of it, like a light pole or a trash can or something like that. But they use it to hide other things, like apartment buildings or balconies that they don't want people looking up towards. It's very interesting. And then the utilidors, that was developed pretty early when Disney was still alive, checking out the parks and stuff. He saw, I think it was a cowboy wandering through the Tomorrowland section, and so he developed the utilidors so that way mascots could go to wherever they needed to go without breaking the magic of the specific area that they were wandering through.
Yeah.
And so that combined with the more horrific aspects of like, oh yeah, the water park runs a little funny. And I don't know enough about Disney to know whether or not the whole you have to sit next to a dead body and act like nothing's wrong thing. I don't know if that's true, but
No, what I think d- they might have something similar
it
because that is
yeah.
not a baseless theory
Mhm.
because they are all very much about not ruining the magic
Yeah.
because they're
'Cause
dealing with kids and they don't want to
it'd be
traumatize
kind of
like
traumatizing to be like, "Yeah, sorry, Jimmy. Mickey fucking died."
yeah, like
Mickey's like seizing
I'm
on the
not
ground and they're like, What's happening to Mickey?" Don't worry about it. He's just having a special dance. Now
the
go look over at that nice little pretty building. I got to help Mickey break it down Disney style.
oh my god. um uh so they what they probably do is they probably like immediately like the first thing they do is get everyone away. Like, we'll go with the seizing on the ground.
Mhm.
One, they'll probably get everyone away, but even before that, they'll probably do like extensive healthcare checks into these
Yeah.
mascots, and they probably
Although
don't
I
let
will
them.
say I have heard like reports that a lot of the female actresses who play like the Disney characters and stuff are extremely unhealthy because of the standards they have to follow with keeping their figure. So
Yeah,
there is a certain level of bad health going on. It's just that they're probably not hiring people to be mascots who have like epilepsy or
epilepsy or like a
seizures or
higher
anything
chance
like
of
that.
heat stroke or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they also like they're not out there for very long.
Mhm.
They have multiple people, so that's why they need to do like the switches. Like, you'll see like the mascot walk away.
They switch out pretty consistently, I believe,
Yeah,
because
yeah, and then
they're usually in like warmer areas, and those if if you've ever been in like any type of uniform, let alone a mascot of all things, those things get so hot so quick.
and honestly, thanks to the furries, I know that's a weird thing to say, but thanks to the furries, we have like cooling suits now, so they probably have some form
Yeah,
of
they
cooling
probably have
suit.
some sort of cooling suit. I will say, with all the issues I do have with furries,
Just casually
they
dropping
are,
that.
huh?
Just casually dropping that.
Whatever. I will give them credit. They are really good at innovating new techniques. Like, for example, they have like a water cooling undersuit that they wear. I've actually seen this before. I was with announcer when we saw it. Um, they have like
Where?
these when we work security for the Pride event.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did see. We
One of
saw.
the furries took their head off for half a second. They had like a hood that had like these water cooling tubes going through it, and that
Yeah,
was to keep them from getting heat stroke.
and I pointed it out to you. I also
Yeah,
saw them putting on the suit. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. I remember this.
and that's really. I actually think that's been adopted by the military for certain
Yeah, it
tasks,
was. It was adopted by the
which
military
is
for um
insane.
fighter,
Fighter jets
fighter,
or something.
fighter. Yeah,
Um,
fighter pilots, and then tank crews also have a
Tank
version
crews,
of it.
I'd believe that.
Yeah,
Uh, the way I've seen a bunch of costumes like that where they have like really elaborate digitigrade legs because that's really hard to replicate, and they're
and
able
they
to replicate it no problem.
and then their ability to make like the protogen masks. They've started
Yeah, the
developing like
lights and
stuff like
stuff.
see-through like screens, which is
Yeah,
actually going to be more helpful for me.
and probably me thinking about it because my
Honestly, that'd be
yeah,
kind of goated to have all of our
um,
IVSC helmets animated. Anyway,
true. And then the like the way that they have their masks are very elaborate and really good too. Like if Disney really wanted to, they could set the magic on a whole nother level of having Mickey be able to like open his mouth and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, just Disney hire furries. They write better stories than you.
I don't know. We might have
It's
to fact
Disney.
check that
Hey,
one.
hey,
I'm
hey,
talking
hey.
about
No,
hiring furries to write better story. You know what?
I'd rather
I'll
see
concede that point.
Disney.
I don't want to get a pipe bomb in my mailbox. I will retract that
They
statement.
can afford a $2,000 fursuit.
They can
They can
afford a
afford to see
$50 pipe bomb in my mailbox.
it. All right. All right.
Room zero.
She croaked a single shaking hand placed to her cheek as if she were a little girl fearing a father's punishment. She didn't meet the man's gaze for the entire conversation. Room zero, as it turned out, was yet another hidden, just like the apartments in Club 22. However, its sheer size and its spot deep beneath the park set it apart from any of the fun dark zones.
It was a bomb shelter. Room Zero was built to withstand a massive attack, be it conducted by foreign or domestic enemies. Room Zero was to be stocked with enough rations to feed the entire park's average number of patrons at any given moment, and housed a smaller yet lavish panic room of sorts for Disney higher ups. During World War II, Official Disney gas masks were actually produced for children to wear in the event of an attack. The idea was that it would be less scary for kids if Mickey's face was emblazoned on a wartime safety device. Yes, I know the obvious problems with that. During the Cold War scare of the 60s, when Disney World was constructed, Room Zero was stocked with similar masks as well. Whether they cared about the fears of children or just callous branding, the things found their way down there. What's more, some genius decided that kids would then be frightened by the gas masks their parents wore. And so all masks, adult and child, were made to comply to this insane standard. Ida described it as treating a wound with lemon juice. None of this explained what Hammer had been seeing, though. Not only the seemingly supernatural appearances, but the emptied out room as well.
I've been there.
He explained.
There's nothing but a cement floor and 4 walls.
No! Ida shook her head and covered her mouth, stifling a sob. You've been on top of it! Someone, or something, sounded the alarm one day. When the park was at full capacity, the warning was clear. It was supposedly an air attack. Security ushered everyone down into this tremendous shelter. There, they were ordered to put on their masks and hunker down for the duration of the assault. Everything was quiet for about 30 minutes, save for the crying children and the frightened whispers. No one wanted to die, and so they were thankful in a way for this strange measure of safety. Then the first scream rang out.
Hey,
A man shouted.
quit pinching.
Waves of shrieks and yelps rippled through the crowd, from one wall to the other, back and forth.
Who's running around? Settle down!
Someone hollered.
Who's laughing? This isn't funny. Ow, who stepped on my foot?
God damn it, you know what I was gonna do?
What?
Well,
Step on my foot!
Despite security guards urging to calm down and keep their cool, the crowd became more and more agitated until, finally, after nearly an hour of madness, the lights flickered, then died. What followed could only be described as utter chaos in the dark. Only the wails of the young and the anguished cries of adults could be heard in a massive, swelling din that bloodied the ears of all within the black echo chamber. A group of staff members and a select few patrons made it out of the door ready to face the war above rather than the insanity below. What they found, of course, was a desolate yet untouched theme park. The music continued to play, echoing through silent storybook towns. Upon returning to Room Zero, a few who stood at the top of the steel staircase that led down into the pitch blackness heard no sign of the previous fray. There was only silence. Ida herself descended that staircase, despite the begging of those she left above. She reached the reinforced doors, herself now awash in darkness and hearing only the buzzing in her ears. A single voice came out of the darkness. The echo made it impossible to tell whether the mocking, raspy voice at the back of the bomb shelter or if it was right in front of her face.
Shut the door, dear. You're letting out the cold.
Gripped by terror, she did just that. Within days, the entire thing, shelter, staircase, all of it, was covered with feet upon feet of cement. Air systems and generators above its ceiling were removed, creating the large empty space. They're still down there, Ada told Hammer. Down there, with whoever that was.
You might have noticed that I've used Ida's name. Unfortunately, she passed away soon after telling her story. Accidental fall, supposedly, after getting out of bed to turn on the light,
Such a company devotee
the paper reported.
that her entire bedroom was covered with Mickey silhouettes. And that was Room Zero.
that one was really good. I like how it didn't just go like from 0 to 100 with the supernatural stuff this time. It
It
kind
had a
of
better
slowly
escalation,
built-
I will agree with that.
Yes.
It was like an
Much better.
anthology
Also-
of sorts.
Did you guys see the gas masks that I was
Yeah.
sending?
Yeah,
Yes.
that I fucked up who sent them. Thank you, announcer. Yeah, I don't know. I find those so creepy.
Yeah, well, in the 40s, it was about closest you could get to a real Mickey Mouse gas mask.
I kind of want one though.
Here's
I was
here's what
just
they
thinking that.
here's what they look like now. Of course, they're all corroded and
Yeah. I think it'd
dark.
still be cool to have.
There's a couple more variations. Here's this interesting picture.
I know they do other mascots too. Oh well, that's
Hmm.
yeah, that's definitely interesting. I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. I don't
The
think it's.
pig.
I know that that's Goofy in the background, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I don't know
the
who that is.
pig kind of loses me. Yeah, I do like this. This is why I kind of like it's a 4-part series, but I kind of if I do want to listen to Abandoned by Disney, I find a reading of it that's all 4 stories because I feel like the story's just more complete if you have all 4 because everything ties back in with each other a lot smoother.
Yeah.
With Room Zero, what did you guys think of that?
It was good. I like.
I liked it because
I think it's weird that what was the guy's name? Hammer
Yeah.
got a hold of our narrator's address though.
Well, it's
I
very
wonder what
obvious that there's a lot going on with like
yeah.
our narrator's information is not safe.
No.
me
Um,
when my
go ahead.
information is not safe because I don't use NordVPN.
We're not sponsored.
Did
We're
the
not
Nord-
sponsored.
We are not
They're going to
sponsored.
pay
Don't
us
use-
if they want us to talk about them.
Don't use NordVPN. They haven't paid us yet.
Only use them when they pay us.
The only brand that I'm willing to give credit to is GamerSubs, but that's about it.
Yes. GamerSubs. GamerSubs is a brand you should buy.
Yeah. Let's finish up with final thoughts about Room Zero before we get into a few suggestions. And I'm simply saying that so that way I have a way to bridge into a few suggestions. So let's get some final thoughts in.
I like that it kept up on the because like the first part goes really fast from like 0 to 100 and then it kind of stays at about 65 70
Mm-hmm.
like cruising speed. It stays at cruising speed.
Here's the question: Would you guys rather face the insanity inside the bunker, or would you rather go up and face the war?
The war.
The war.
I agree, the war. Imagine how eerie that would be. Like you're expecting bombs to be dropping, or like a group of commies just walking through the park, gunning down anyone who wasn't lucky enough to get into the bunker. And you walk out, and it's just empty. Like
You'd hear the echo of the music.
yeah, I'd be losing my mind. Like I'd be so confused. It reminds me of like those liminal images you get. I'm not really seeing a good example of it, but like you just walk out and it is just a completely empty space. That would be so unsettling to me. I
Yeah.
often find that imagery being the most fun part about this story is the imagery of like a group of maybe 6 or 7 people who decided to just say screw it, I'd rather get bombed. And them just walking in an empty park. Like it reminds me of like a Twilight Zone episode almost. Like there's all this buildup of like, well, we should stay here because we know the bunker's safe, and it's like the bunker is clearly not safe because whatever's going on down here is not okay. And they get out and it's just an empty space, and they turn around, and the true danger and insanity was whatever's in that bunker.
Whatever was supposed to be their safety.
It whatever that entity was, it lured them into that bunker. It activated the alarm so that way a bunch of people would go down into it. And I feel like it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that this is the origin of the Gascots, like where those entities came from.
Yeah.
I wonder what the whole thing was. The hey, quit pinching. was about? Like, why did that set it off?
I don't know, which I
Why
I
did
like, honestly. Like, the story doesn't explain a lot of stuff because it doesn't need to explain it, because it's just from the perspectives of people who witnessed it and were just as confused as everybody else. Ada has no
Yeah,
clue what the
I
pension was
mean,
about, but she knows that it
someone just
wasn't
shouted,
worth
"Hey!"
staying.
Someone just shouted, "Hey, quit pinching!" And then everybody went into a full panic.
It must have been like
It was
widespread, like they
probably
were all feeling it.
what's the? I know we were talking about salmonella earlier. There is cases of let me
Like
look it
mass
up.
hysteria.
Yes.
It was mass hysteria event, and then so they're running and they're leaving this chaos and screaming and echoing and all that stuff, and they walk out and it's just an empty park. They hear the echoes of the music and all that stuff, and they turn around and go back inside to let everybody know, and it is dead quiet. So
So mass hysteria,
you're
which
just
the
staring into this abyss.
yeah, the medical definition for it is mass psychogenic illness.
Yeah, that I
And I think that's definitely what it was in the bunker, specifically in the bunker.
I'd say it was a combination of something supernatural and mass hysteria. Like something
Yeah.
supernatural prompted the hysteria.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Well, let's not delay and get into a few suggestions.
which
Or
is a prequel
yeah,
to Abandoned
so
by Disney.
Slimebeast
Which was the
wrote
first
this.
story we read.
Slimebeast wrote this to be a prequel to Abandoned by Disney. With a bunch of the compilations that I've seen about Abandoned by Disney, they usually put it right after Room Zero, just because that's like order of posting. Um, and it'll make sense more in Corruptus, but it also kind of fits for it to be right here in this section. So again, Corruptus is kind of the climax of the story. So
Suggestion: we could use another person at check-in during peak hours.
suggestion: please move the hot dog cart away from the main water slide. Also, please have water slide staff keep an eye out for children who just ate. When anyone gets sick in there, 3 or 4 people have to go through before we all know about it.
Suggestion. It would be nice if we had a way to give more detailed information anonymously. Maybe private meeting with management?
Suggestion: we need more security at the south gate.
Suggestion: music in the reptile house keeps slowing down or reversing. It's very annoying.
Suggestion. Please tell the mascots not to try eating in their costumes. We keep getting one in with food all over its face, and we think someone's trying to be funny. The mouth opening is mesh, so eating isn't even possible.
Suggestion: please fix the music in the reptile house. It's driving me up the wall.
Suggestion: guests are complaining about the amount of towels in their rooms.
Suggestion. Need a better or newer coffee machine for the break room?
Amazing.
I'll
I couldn't have
do, I'll do
think
my
This is
my
us just
favorite.
trying to see how many accents we can do.
Suggestion:
I'll,
I
uh, I'll
wasn't
keep my
going
gay
to say
voice.
anything. Oh no.
I'll do my gay voice for the next one.
Oh no.
Oh, we're getting
Suggestion:
canceled.
I wasn't going to say anything because I'm pretty tolerant. Please stop admitting children without faces. They won't stay in the guest area. The what?
The children without faces. What are you talking about, dude?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
sorry.
a
This is
common
not
phrase.
common in Russia.
So I will mention, they're not directly named. It's kind of inferred, but there are like some minor story arcs. So if we ever come across those, I think people should try to whoever picks that character
Remember.
should try to stick with that character. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can try that, but suggestion: the common area could use a bigger selection of DVDs and games. The collection is already getting stale.
Suggestion: still need security at the south gate. What's cheaper, having a staffer pass by once in a while, or painting all over all the vandalism.
Don't
Suggestion:
worry.
Southgate needs more security.
Suggestion. What are we doing about the profanities at the employee exit? Send security there more times a day or whatever.
Suggestion: Don't feel safe leaving the Southgate at the end of shift.
Suggestion. Frank is cheating at solitaire when he thinks I'm not watching. Please do something about this immediately.
Suggestion. Tell the mascots to stay out of where they don't belong. One of them keeps turning off music in the reptile house. Can't tell who because of the suit. Have a meeting or something, man. Suggestion. Please give the mascots more break time or allow them to take short breathers during work hours. Sweat and body odor are one thing, but now we keep getting the same suit full of vomit.
Suggestion. Stop Frank. He's a menace. It is now spread to Sudoku. I'm not making this up.
Suggestion: Sorry to write on a napkin, but we need more suggestion cards or else somebody's stealing them all.
Suggestion. Stop the fucking music.
Suggestion: I swear all these blank cards are getting into... Oh my god. You said a slur there. See, this is Slavic slur that we use for children with blank faces, apparently.
How hyper-specific.
You see, not big problem in Mother Russia, but here in Western America, big problem.
big problem. Big problem.
They
Listen
just, they
to
just
drunk.
get one. They just rifle through the suggestion box and they pull one out and then just suggestion. Hi, this is Officer Frank. What are we doing about all the damn Ruskies in this park?
Dude, it's Frank. He's back. Frank is cheating. One of the Franks from the Frank team is cheating.
Frank. Oh God, he's the security guard and cheating at Sudoku.
Hey, don't forget, he was cheating in solitaire too.
Oh, that bastard. He's come so far from the glorious security guard that was working at a secret government laboratory in Alaska.
Well, hey, this is probably
Suggestion.
also
Tell Frank to stop stalking me on my way out Southgate.
a suggestion. I swear, all these blank kids are getting into everything. Every time I kill one of the... Oh my god!
Okay.
About that.
Maybe I should have read ahead so I was expecting it, but
Sorry,
Got
this
us
is
all off guard.
this is why it's not a big problem in Russia. We kill them. It's we call it Fest of the Blank Kids, and we all go out and we hunt them.
whoa,
Russian military. Russian military brings T-35.
Blank kids.
Oh yes, they're a problem. They are a big problem. They're like rat. They're like vermin. They get into everything.
Alright, this is Officer Frank again. I might have to arrest you, man.
Dirty American pig.
Filthy
We are gonna have
communist
to edit.
dog.
We are gonna have to edit this out.
Suggestion. I swear all these blank kids are getting into everything. Every time I kill one of them, the others just misbehave more. Keep finding them in piles at bottom of stairway, and they think it's funny. It's not funny. I can't get through.
Suggestion? We need more suggestion cards.
Suggestion: we've received a mascot suit with paint on its gloves. Someone took it to the Southgate, and the color matches what the vandal is using. Might be worth looking into. Also, where are the cards?
Suggestion. Costume sticking to the source. Suggestion. It's too hard to write with these gloves on.
Suggestion: thanks for the suggestion cards. Finally, what are we doing about staffing check-in at peak hours?
Suggestion. Once more. Sorry for the napkin. We're out of cards again.
Suggestion? One of the mascots cornered me in the supply closet and grabbed my breasts. I've told Michael Sheehan about it, but I don't think he's going to do anything because I don't know who was in the outfit. I'm going to file a lawsuit if management continues to avoid my calls. This is a final notice. Additionally, please restock the cards. I suspect they were removed so you could discourage my reports. Suggestion!
Suggestion!
No, fuck you. I'm reading this.
No, I'm
fuck
fucking
you.
doing.
I'm
It's the
reading
same
this one.
character.
Fuck you. I'm reading this. No, fuck you. I'm reading
All right,
this
fuck
one.
you.
If I can get the next one.
Oh, fuck. Now I don't know which one I want more.
I already called the next one.
Okay.
Calls me
Okay. Fine.
dibs. No dib back.
Suggestion. Oh, I'm a mouse.
I barely caught any of that.
Same.
Fuck.
Alright, you had your time to shine, Jimbo. Now it's
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
now it's time for Daddy Mouse to step into the ring.
Daddy Mouse. I'm telling your girlfriend that you referred to yourself as Daddy Mouse.
Please don't.
I'm
Hold on, I
already
got this.
doing it. It's too late.
Oh dear God.
What's her Discord?
I
I'm
got
not
it.
telling you. I'm not telling you.
I got it.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
Well, you can discuss this later. I'm going to pull you into an HR meeting.
Suggestion. Haha. I'm a mouse.
Suggestion. Fuck you.
Suggestion. Someone's taking out the light bulbs. I mean, just everywhere. The guests are getting increasingly angry about flipping switches, only to have nothing happen.
Suggestion? When are we getting some new DVDs in the common room? I'm not complaining because they're old movies, just that plenty are scratched and don't play all the way through.
Suggestion. What's the ETA on the coffee maker?
Suggestion. The vending machines on the third floor in the guest area are constantly unplugged, and the money slots are often jammed with suggestion cards. I don't even know what these cards are talking about.
Suggestion. We need more cards again.
Suggestion? Try to find Frank. Suggestion. I will give you clues about Frank, okay? Suggestion. Clue number 1. It's cold. Suggestion. Clue number 2. It's wet.
Suggestion. We need another coat of paint at the south gate. Are you doing anything about this clown?
Suggestion. Clue number 3. Flush. Suggestion. The hot dog cart is still next to the water slide, and there have been 2 more incidents involving children getting sick halfway through the pipe. This is really reflecting poorly on the resort. Suggestion. I don't think you're looking for Frank.
Suggestion. Hey, I don't mean to be a dick, but seriously, where are the cards? This box is fucking pointless.
Suggestion. I keep sinking into the floor. Suggestion. Maybe it's just that, I feel like it.
Suggestion. I can't get any rest because there's too much to do. Every time I lie down, guests keep asking if I'm okay. Suggestion. I can't get my head off. 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 Suggestion. Ignore last card. It was my head. I forgot. Suggestion. The costume is sticking to my sores, and there are more sores. Suggestion. All I am is sores. Suggestion. The costume is breathing, and if I don't match its movements, I can't get any air.
Suggestion. Suggestion.
He's realizing he's sinking into the floor also, so he tries writing a suggestion, and then he tabs out, and he comes back and he finishes it.
This is the Southgate guy, by the way.
Mhm.
Suggestion. I keep locking the gates, but someone keeps opening them again. Please tell them to stop doing that because it lets everyone out again. I feel like that's counterproductive.
Suggestion. They found Frank, and they're going to blame me. Please advise. Suggestion. Frank's face was like a bad-looking plate of mashed potatoes when they pulled him out, but when I laughed at it, everybody looked at me. Even the people with faces, which is odd.
Suggestion. I have to think of what to do. Suggestion. Oh. Suggestion. I know. Hang on.
Suggestion. I'm not sure if the suggestion box is the right place for this, but security isn't doing much about my complaint. Over the last couple of days, I've been circling the resort and counting the number of staffers. As far as I can tell, there are more mascots on the grounds than we have on payroll. Security says it doesn't make sense, but I think we have one extra.
Okay.
Suggestion. Please help. Costumes are heavy with people inside. And there's no hook left for me. Ha ha!
And that was a few suggestions. Very short. Arguably one of my favorite. Like,
Dude,
it's
so
difficult
funny.
to place where I like it more between Room Zero and this one.
I think my
You
favorite
know,
my favorite suggestion is either "fuck you" or "fuck." One of those two.
you know,
Ugh!
throughout it, I do like how it's written, especially when they have such incredible world building to go
Mhm.
with it. Like you almost imagine yourself.
He's sinking into the floor again.
But seriously, it does build its own little world there, especially with the voices that we gave them, because we gave them such like consistent voices. I was not expecting for the Ruski to just be like, yes, I keep killing children and
I
they keep
keep
coming
killing
back.
children, and they keep coming back, which is strange because I chopped them up into itty bitty pieces.
Also, I'm so glad that I picked a Russian accent for that, especially for they think it's funny. It's not. They can't get through.
They think it's funny. It is not funny. I can't get through. How am I supposed to have my...
Why did you? No, now because
How-
you said it like that. Now because you said it in that very
No,
specific
don't do the
cadence.
Donald Trump voice. Do not do the Donald Trump voice.
Please, dude, please.
I swear all these blink kids are getting into everything. It's not good. It's really not good. Every time I kill one of them, the others just misbehave more. I keep finding them in piles at the bottom of the stairway, and they think it's funny. It's not funny. I can't get through. I cannot get through the stairway. It's really not funny. It's really actually kind of like a health hazard. It's honestly,
Oh
like
my god, thank you.
someone's gonna get
Thank
hurt
you.
with all these faceless kids that I keep killing. By the way, you're welcome.
There's no cake. I'm just the man behind the slaughter. Anyway. So, this is... And it's revealed later in Corruptus, but I'm just going to state it now. This is a
No.
suggestion box from Mowgli's palace.
Yeah, no, I thought that was obvious because this
Okay.
is
Yeah,
a
that was
prequel to Abandoned by.
Yeah. So, and again, I can elaborate deeper after we read through Corruptus, but there's a lot of like details and information that tie very heavily in with the rest of the series that kind of explain the overall, I don't want to say theme, but like kind of, because it's not theme, it's like general story throughout the entirety of the just like the general story throughout the entire thing. I'll be able to elaborate into deeper detail once we actually get to Charybdis.
I'm starting to see why people really like this.
Yeah, no, Slimebeast is an amazing author. He does such good work. I haven't heard Abandoned by Dandy, but I've heard about Funny Mouth, and I think Lost Episodes is also one that I've heard about before. So I think those are both ones that I've heard about that Slimebeast has written, and then he has, as far as I'm aware, he also has a bunch of other stories that are also held in really high regard. Like I previously mentioned, he's also when there was the Jeff the Killer rewrite competition, he's the person that won that. So his writing is very well regarded.
Do we want to move on to Corruptus?
Corruptus? Sure, because I have this big ass like corkboard conspiracy about the whole story, so.
Well, I mean, if you turn around, you kind of have a corkboard of conspiracies right behind you.
That's something else. That's something else.
What?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What?
If the FBI shows up and asks to see the corkboard, you're going to say what corkboard, because there's not one. It doesn't exist. This is drywall. I'm just nailing straight into the drywall.
The FBI came to my house at Mar-a-Lago, and FBI is short for first we break in.
All right. And on that note, we're going to get into the next story, which is Corrupt Us.
If you really believe in something, it can be yours. That's how we've been conditioned to think. Mostly, I suppose, it's a coping mechanism to keep us from eating the rich. We all think we'll be rich someday if we just want it hard enough. How long has it been since there was a good, old-fashioned culling of the wealthy elite? That probably wasn't a good way to start this blog post. I'm more than a little tired, but fuck it. I'm leaving it. Corruptus. That was the subject of an email I received before my ISP dropped me. My phone turned into a brick the same day. Hell, I think it was the same precise moment, though it's difficult to know for sure since I only tried it after my laptop couldn't connect. Corruptus. I'd never heard that word before. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure it is a word at all. Could be Latin. It sounds like Latin. I haven't been able to look it up, and this is the first time I'm getting on the web since my unexpected removal from the grid. I tried to sign on at the local library, by the way. My card was revoked. Unpaid late fees for books I'd never read, much less checked out. Mostly borderline fetish material and self-help books for various mental illnesses. The apparently quite detailed tome of weapons of mass destruction seemed to be concerned for the librarian. I hung around the library for maybe a half an hour until someone left a computer logged in and unguarded. When I went to check my email to tweet a complaint about what had happened, those accounts were gone as well. Honestly, I was a pretty huge dumbass for expecting them to be there. It wasn't long before I noticed the computer's rightful user pointing me out at the front desk. I guess she wasn't a fan of the direct approach. I was out the door before anyone could cause a real fuss. It's been over 2 years since I left Mowgli's palace and never looked back. The original blog post has come and gone so much, across so many different sites, that I can barely remember the first place I tried to host it. If I'd known how far this would go, I don't know if I would have been able to hack out that clumsy, flawed account of what happened. The pressure would have been too great, and I suppose there's a certain level of comfort in the idea no one will actually see or care about your work. It seems like a lot of sites remove the information either upon direct request from Disney or their own in fear of reprisal. I know a really popular YouTuber who pulled readings of my post from his channel. The rumor was that someone threatened to sue him or supposed author of the story. Bullshit. I know firsthand that he took it down in about a pants-shitting fear when he realized Disney's connection to his partner company. I tried to keep up my After Abandoned blog for a while. I don't know how many people out there saw my notes on Room Zero, Club 22, and so on. They're still around if you look, at least at the time of this writing. Yes, Club 22 exists. No, it's not a typo of Club 33. I later learned from the same contact that there's an 11 as well, and supposedly the debauchery only grows as the number gets lower. I've heard of Club 00, but I can't confirm that as clearly as I can with the previous contact. Also, I don't know if it has any connection to the room of a similar name. Yes, the door probably said characters or cast members instead of mascots. I know, I hear you all. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure your memory is crystal clear in the moments of abject terror, right? Overall, I'm glad that my words have spread so far and wide. But the downside is that so few of you are taking this seriously. I can't stress this enough. Treasure Island? Real. The Utilidors? Real. Just because you can't substantiate the rest doesn't mean it's a cool story. Instead of picking apart the inaccuracies and making games about how cool it would be to have been in my position, maybe people can start taking this seriously and digging into what's going on. Maybe? I don't know. I don't want this to be a rant. I want to stay focused and make sure I post exactly what I wanted to make public. All of the stress, the stalkers, the phone calls, the broken windows, I know that's all supposed to keep me off track. They want me confused, scared, and most of all, they want me quiet. There's a team of men and women in suits that I've seen at random times, here and there. I call them the focus group because they pop up with clipboards and pens taking notes about everything I do. They all have the same outfits, the same thick brimmed nerd glasses, the same red pens that just scream, "We're judging you." The first time I noticed them, they were following me through the mall. I looped and turned, trying to be sure they were following me, and there they were, every step of the way. Days later, I spotted them again in the laundromat window across from my new apartment. I chased one down once, the tubbiest one. They stayed silent through the entire chase, even if the scuffle that ensued when I wrenched the clipboard from his hand, I only found page after page of off-kilter random gibberish coupled with crude Mickey silhouettes, all in the same red ink. I know it sounds insane to say that a group of men and women in black are following me and taking nonsense notes, but I think that's the point. I think the idea is that it should drive me insane. And even if it doesn't, you'll still think I'm crazy for just saying it. It's a no-win situation. I will.
You cut out.
Oh, because I was reading Waifu's message.
Oh, what do you say?
Average schizo moment.
The tubby men in black are writing notes about me, guys. I'm not the one who ordered all those copies of all those book talk books. I swear, guys. I'm not the person who ordered 58 copies of Chemistry on Ice. I swear to God.
What the fuck is Chemistry on Ice?
I don't know if that's the proper title, but it's a book talk book.
Hey, Court of Thorns and Roses. There you go.
I didn't order the entire series of Fourth Wing, guys. You gotta believe me. It was the Disney Corporation. Okay, I got a funny story. So, when I was at tech school learning about my AFSC, we would have these spurts of like downtime. So at the beginning of class, when you get there in the morning, and so you have like either up to 30 minutes to an hour to just wait till class starts, and then you had some time at lunch, and then, well, you had like some free time, but at the end of the day, but that's usually just going onto the bus and then sleeping for the bus ride back to the other section of base. And a lot of people would read. That's when I read through the published versions of Tales from the Gas Station, because I bought like all those books. Really good books, by the way. We're going to have to do Tales from the Gas Station soon, because that actually started out as a creepypasta. So, eventually we'll get to that. But that's what I read through. And other people were reading stuff. And all the shit they were reading, it was mostly girls. Actually, it wasn't mostly... It was all girls. They were all reading book talk books. With exception of maybe one or two who were just reading, like, their own generic fiction material. Like, they had their own little book club set up. They would all read the same book talk book. And then, like, talk about it. And one day, towards the end of our time at tech school, I think it was a major. He was one of our teachers. And he's standing out front of class during like one of the quiet time, or not quiet times, one of the free times. And he turns to one of the girls and is like, you know,
Oh no.
I see you guys reading these books all the time. And you all seem so invested into it. I'm genuinely curious. What kind of what's the name of that book? I am kind of interested in reading it. And
Poor guy.
the girl turned like 6 different shades of red. And then had to explain to a major that, sir,
Major
Oh,
league.
I'm reading smut. in public.
yeah, literally that, like, sir, we're reading smut. It's a smut book. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess I don't want to read these books anymore. And he looks over at me, and I'm like, hi.
It's not smart.
What do you read? I just read horror books. It's not smut. I just read my own stuff. Okay. Like, he tried to change the subject so fast. Everybody was laughing in that class. It was so funny. Oh my goodness.
I might have to try this book. It's smut. And he turns over to Stevie, and you're like, no, this guy's getting dismembered right now.
This came from a creepypasta on the internet.
I'm just that nerdy. I like creepy pasta.
I didn't grow out of my 2012 emo phase.
What the hell is a creepy pasta? Is that like my wife's cooking?
Creepy pasta? Oh man, I get pretty creeped out when I see my wife's pasta, if you know what I'm saying. Swear to goodness, I'm pretty sure she poisons that stuff. That's why I always get the pasta from Marco's. See that stuff?
What?
At least you're aware it's poisoned.
At least. At least I'm aware that it's a poisonous material. I like it that way.
Alright, let's keep reading Charybdis.
Ready? Alright, guys, we're done with Corruptus. I read it all.
Get your ass reading!
I will forever regret that trip to Emerald Isle. But on the other hand, I'll always be grateful to the people who have come forward anonymously to share their experiences with me. Whoever mailed me the suggestion box from the resort is basically my hero at this point. To read what I'd written about the place and still brave the journey, wow, I can't imagine how that felt. Whoever you may be. You even left the original corroded lock in the box, so I know it was legit. I don't like that.
Don't like what?
To do all the fact that leaving the original lock on the box,
Why?
because he sent him the suggestion box to his house without looking to brave the journey and to not even like look in it. It just seems a little weird to me.
Yeah.
The way that he's wording it.
Okay.
To do all of that without even taking a look inside for yourself must have been really hard. Thank you. If you haven't noticed, I'm treating this post a lot like my final statement. There's a reason for that. I don't know how long I can keep subverting Disney's attempts at silencing me before some sort of final action is taken. I have no doubt that somewhere, at this very moment, someone is using my identity to commit a crime that would discredit me. That, or the men in white jackets are about to show me a lovely padded cell. I don't know what's going to come of this, and that's the worst part, I suppose. All I know is that it's coming. So what's Corruptus? Well, as I mentioned, it was the title of an email I received. One that was presumably deleted along with my account. It was blank and seemed to exist for the sole purpose of placing an attached text document in my hands. Too bad for the powers that be, I already printed it the moment I saw it. Not much they can do to reverse that, can they? I should have mentioned, remember that library? I used their copier to run off a few thousand duplicates of that letter. A few hundred are stapled in random places. A few hundred were passed out to random people, and the rest, well, let's leave those as a little surprise. Have fun trying to stifle that, you mouse fuckers. Without any more rambling, here's the letter. Word for word, it arrived from a source whose email address I won't disclose, though I assume it's untraceable dummy count anyway. Summation of Corruptus incident for January 2015.
For office use only. This message contains information that may be confidential or proprietary or protected by the attorney-client privilege or work product doctrine intended solely for the use of the addressees named above. Any review, disclosure, distribution, copying, or use of the information by others is strictly prohibited. If you have received this message in error or without authorization, please advise the sender by immediate reply and delete the original message.
All email sent to this address will be received by the Disney corporate email system and is subject to archiving and review by someone other than the recipient. A violation of this disclaimer, as written, will result in prosecution. Please refer to official guidelines with relation to known and unconfirmed incident reports. Respect regulation as per ongoing and/or finalized designations. Known Corruptus incidents up to and including January 2015. Treasure Island. Extreme agitation/inappropriate activity within vulture population. Mild to moderate agitation/inappropriate human activity. Resolved Corruptus. Unidentified avian species. Abandoned. Final. Disney's Pop Century Resort. Misplaced and mobile objects. Chronological displacement/anachronism. Unresolved Corruptus. Wandering entity. Pending. Disney's River County. Microorganism infestation. Unresolved Corruptus. Clear Man, aka See-Through Man, aka Friendly John. Abandoned. Final. ImageWorks, the What If Labs, 2nd floor. Multiple missing persons reports regarding Dreamfinder's School of Drama. Pin screen fatality. Vibrating mirror sickness. Unresolved Corruptus. Willy Wizard installation. Abandoned. Final. Mowgli's Palace. Auditory hallucination and/or projection. Misplaced and mobile objects. Moderate to severe agitation/inappropriate human activity. Unresolved Corruptus. Inverted character. Abandoned. Final. The New Global Neighborhood. Resolved Corruptus. Fiber optic worm. NGNC1. Resolved Corruptus. Digital Howl. NGNC2. Resolved. Repurposed. Room 0. Sudden onset mass hysteria. Auditory hallucination and/or projection. Unresolved Corruptus. Unknown. Contained Final. Please note, Nara Dreamland is not an officially licensed Disney park and no information or resources are to be shared with any responsible for containing its residents. A complete list of suspected Corruptus incidents and reports may be available.
It took a few readings before I could get my head around. Essentially, the attached file was to be believed, then the events I had experienced were not part of an isolated incident. The events within Room 0, the Gascots, they seemed like a part of a much larger problem. What is corruptus? Corruption. I mean, I don't need to run Google Translate for that, even if I felt like I could take a break from writing without risk of someone finding and disconnecting me at any moment. Corruption of what? Dreams, ideas, desires? I've never been a religious man, but I was dragged to Sunday school more than enough times to know about golden calves, false gods created by man's, icons, graven images, characters, mascots. If you believe in the Bible at all, and I'm not sure I do, especially not after what I've seen, then maybe God wasn't angry because people worshipped other things. Maybe he was afraid. Maybe if enough people believe in something hard enough, there's a chance it will come to be. Since we're naturally flawed beings, that means there's a very good chance such a thing would become corrupted. If you think about it, Disney's animated films have always had one overriding message. Clap your hands and believe hard enough. Tinkerbell will live. When you wish upon a star, anything your heart desires. People like to say Disney has some connection to Satanism, but I've never bought into that. I still don't. I think they've been trying to create that golden calf, a god idol that everyone believes in, one that everyone loves. It's almost as if any dream or idea that is shared by enough human hearts and minds has a real chance of being born into the world. The creatures, if any exist beyond what I saw with my own eyes, I think they're the deformed half-starts, random manifestations of some dark, unquantifiable non-life that seeped into our state of being. They're mistakes of reality, cosmic abortions, the corrupted. Did everyone in Emerald Isle harbor such a negative impression of Mowgli's palace? How potent was the fear of nuclear war on the day Room Zero became full? If you want to find gascots and mystery voices, does that search bring about the very thing you're looking for? How many children have been disappointed, confused, or scared for life when they saw Mickey without his head? These are questions I'm never going to be able to answer. I don't know if anyone can. Speaking personally, this will probably be the last time I talk to you about Disney and everything I've learned about them. I'm truly sorry for that, especially since there's so much more I could say. Unconfirmed rumors, documents, and items I've received that now seem to be gone forever. I thought they were just trying to contain that Mickey costume. I thought that's why they went out of their way to keep the public in the dark about so much. Why they coerced and bullied to get their way. Now I realize I was wrong. It was this all along. They didn't want anything like this getting out. I wish you all good luck, and I know I need the same from you. Thank you.
And with that, that concludes both Corruptus and the entirety of the Abandoned by Disney storyline. So with that, what do you guys think?
I honestly really liked it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Do you think at any point they over-explained anything? Or
No.
no? Alright.
No, I
No,
think
I
he
don't
was just the right amount of over explaining.
Mm-hmm. So, with the final understanding of Corruptus and all that stuff, can you look back on any of the previous stories and can kind of connect the dots as to like what each of the Corruptus represent?
somewhat.
Yeah, I kind of can, yeah.
Like
Same with you.
how the Gascots represent the paranoia of the oncoming war. What do you think the inverted Mickey Mouse character represented as a Corruptus?
Well, I really think he said it. The hate of Mowgli's palace. I'm gonna have to go with that.
Okay. Wifey, do you got an opinion on that?
Not really. I kind of agree with announcer on it.
Personally, originally, yeah, I also saw it as it's like the hate harbored towards Mowgli's palace, but I think it goes a layer deeper than that. I think it, and I can't take credit for this take because I heard this take originally from the YouTuber known as Postra. They have a video talking about Abandoned by Disney. I recommend it. It's a very interesting video. They don't go nearly as in depth with each of the stories as we do, but he still gives a general summary, and I enjoyed the video, and he makes some interesting points that I'm going to poorly reiterate here. So if you want the better reiteration, then go to his video after this one. So the way that he explained it is it's not necessarily the anger and hate from the general public towards Mowgli's palace, although I'm certain there's a factor of that somewhere because Disney quite literally just bought a neighborhood and kicked everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a majority of it is the frustration that the staff had with how things were run. Because on top of having to deal with all the annoying guests and all that stuff, there's a significant amount of mismanagement at Disney. Having to sit next to a corpse while you wait for somebody to come clean it up like it's a prop that shouldn't be used anymore. The very lax safety standards around the water rides and keeping food that will inevitably get thrown up on the slides. Just the absolute horrid working conditions that we all know that Disney already has. Like, I'm certain you've, announcer, having dug into this, you've heard stories. Waifu, I'm certain you've heard your own set of
A
stories.
little bit, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And then, like what we referenced before, Disney trying to argue that they can kill you because you agreed to not sue them if something bad happens. Or even like a kid getting snatched away by an alligator, or all the various kidnappings that happen at Disney parks. The degeneracy of the secret dark zones. It all boils down to this twisted inversion of what Disney's supposed to represent, which is this magical, happy, fun representation of Disney, the most magical place on earth. It's supposed to be this very special place. But you look a little deeper, you walk down the basement stairs, you go through the rusted locked gate, you go into the room that's marked for staff only, and you see the true inverted nature of what the outside appearance originally was. So, here's a follow-up question. When the mascot started ripping its head off, what started flowing out of it?
It was like yellow blood, yellow paint like.
So, blood doesn't show up as yellow, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, no. It was some sort of yellow substance.
Yeah.
I'm assuming decomp because there was a body in there.
Mm-hmm. Most people assume it's like inverted blood. Although, if you scroll up to the image of Mickey Mouse, that's not what red will appear like if it was inverted. Because red shows up as blue when it's inverted.
Mm-hmm.
So, Postra's theory is that the chunky yellow blood is actually vomit, because it mentioned in a few suggestions that suits would have vomit in it and food smushed in it and all this other stuff, because the mascots, and it was also referenced a few times in a few suggestions, people were talking about like, hey, is it possible we could have more breaks? Is it possible we can have more out of suit time for training and meetings and stuff? And
There was also the mention. I'll let you get to your point, and then I'll. If you bring up what I'm thinking of, I'll.
no, bring up the point, because I don't know if I will, and I don't want to get lost in my conspiracy.
The my crackpot theory was that the all of the people, all of the costumes had suits in them, because there's the one of the suggestions where there's like all of the costumes are heavy with bodies in them, and there's no
The
hook
last
left
line.
for me. Yeah.
So part of that is because that Mickey Mouse is a Charybdis. And it was also mentioned like, hey, we have an extra mascot on site, and I don't know who the extra mascot is. And then you have all the suggestion cards of, I can't get my head off, I can't get my head off, I can't get my head off. Never mind. It was my real head. I forgot. And then the other comment of like the suit breathing, and so whoever's inside the suit has to try to match the breathing of the suit, or else it won't let them breathe. And those suggestions are basically a series of suggestions, or it's basically the realization that the Charybdis isn't a person in a mascot suit. The suit is just alive. And for whatever reason, after it realizes that it's alive, it begins killing other mascots. And then apparently also committing some workplace harassment. But that might have just been a different suit.
Creepy guy.
That might be unrelated. I don't know. But that specific Charybdis is a inversion of like all of the magic and happiness and family friendliness that's supposedly happening on the surface of Disney, but if you scratch a little deeper, you go behind the scenes, it's all twisted, it's all bile and vitriol, and it's all inverted. And part of that inversion, instead of a kid being traumatized by realizing that Mickey Mouse is just some dude in a suit when his head accidentally fell off, an adult is traumatized when a mascot takes off its head and blood, bile, and vitriol all spill out of its neck, which is another fun inversion. And now we're getting into a I don't want to say it's a literary comparison because I don't think that's right. Okay, here's what I'll call it. This is a the curtains are blue moment. I don't know if either of you guys know what I mean when I say that.
I do not.
Okay.
I don't either.
Okay. So,
No.
and I'm going to sound like such a zoomer for this, but there's this meme on the internet where it's this English teacher talking about how the author wrote the curtains in the room were blue. And this teacher goes into this deep literary analysis of how the curtains represent his unwillingness to let anything in, and the blue is a symbol for his depression and his state of just ever longing to want to be happy. And then it cuts to the author's thought process of writing the curtains are blue, and it's just
The curtains were blue.
the curtains are blue. So this is my the curtains are blue moment, where I'm going to make a literary acknowledgement, and there is a very high chance that Slimebeast wrote it to either just be creepy or he thought it'd be a cool thing to add towards the end of it. So, what was the tagline that was written all over Mowgli's palace?
Abandoned by
Abandoned
Disney.
by Disney.
Abandoned by Disney. What was the tagline written in the last room?
Abandoned by God.
Do either of you guys have an idea on why you think that is?
I don't know.
No?
I think it was, I don't know, probably either whoever wrote Abandoned by Disney on there, wrote Abandoned by God in there, but it said it was scratched in with like fingernails or bone or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was either the Mickey Mouse creature wanting, right, going crazy, final moments, or just another fear factor, curtains are blue thing.
Okay. So this
Because
is
there could be, you could correlate it with his thing at the end about God and idols and stuff, but
that's exactly where I'm going with this.
yeah,
So thank you for transitioning me into this conspiracy moment. So Disney talks about wanting to create that golden calf, that idol that everybody kneels down and worships and is like, oh, this is so cool, this is awesome, this is all that. Which probably the closest thing they got was Mickey Mouse. And so you have this inversion of what it means to be an idol for Disney, a cosmic abortion as is described in the story. And what does the Disney Corporation do with it? They abandon it. They lock it away into this room. They throw away the key to never be seen again. They shut down the entire park and they just take everything and just move it somewhere else to a determined location. And the Charybdis is effectively a new creation. It is. Are you guys familiar with what a tulpa is?
yeah, Yep.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So a tulpa is essentially a manifestation of the universe. So I forget which religion believes in it. I think it's Buddhism, but
Wasn't it a manifestation of dreams?
so what it is there's a belief that there's like this cosmic energy that just kind of is out and about, and if people go through enough spiritual refinement and study and self-discovery and all that stuff, they'll be able to take that cosmic energy and mold it and form it into whatever they could possibly imagine. And that's what a tulpa is. And people say it's like in heightened states of emotion and all that stuff, or I might just be getting that from Greylock. I don't know. But essentially what a tulpa is a being that is created through thought. It's created into a physical manifestation through thought, belief, or something like that. And that's potentially, or that's what is basically outright stated, is what all the Charybdis are. They're things that have been created through belief, through thought, through, in most instances, fear, anger, frustration, shock, horror, etc. And, like, for example, during the Cold War, everybody was worried about nuclear annihilation. It was very common to see the whole, like, duck and cover thing. Or not mascots, gas masks were a household staple back then. Everybody was building a bomb shelter. And that fear and worry and panic all collected into one location, shoulder to shoulder, jam packed with all these people thinking the same thing. And so it manifested itself as the Gascots. And then people kept seeing the Gascots, and it's like, oh, they're wearing gas masks. That's kind of concerning. What do they know that I don't? Which eventually manifested into the false raid, which manifested into the mass hysteria that was in room 0. So this inverted Mickey was manifested into the world to be this idol. This is probably the closest Disney has ever gotten to having their golden calf. But something goes wrong. It realizes something's not working right. The costume breathes out of sync with me. There are sores that stick to my suit. I can't rest for a single second, and every time I try to lie down, the guests wonder, like, hey, are you okay, dude? And it doesn't matter how many times you try, you just can't get your head off. Which eventually reveals to the Charybdis that it's not a real person. And for whatever reason, like I mentioned previously, it starts killing other mascots for whatever reason. And then it honestly probably just for trying to get some sort of control over its life, because there are so many vectors that are out of its control. Because it is a being that is trapped within the visage of Disney's highest rated character. Or most well known. That's a better term for it.
Yeah.
And so it understands that it's been created by Disney. It is a literal creature that looks exactly like their main guy. And what do creations typically refer to their creators as? A god.
God.
So when this mascot is shoved into a room and locked away for who knows how many years, and is abandoned and forgotten and left to rot in a room of corpses, it would probably feel like it has been abandoned by its god. And that's exactly what happened to the inverted Charybdis. It was abandoned by its god. Disney being its god or creator, because Disney was trying to make its perfect golden calf. And that closes my TED Talk. What do you guys think of the theory? Or my curtains are blue moment?
It could be very real in my opinion. I more of liked. I more have read the story, and I'm not trying to be like.
No, come up with your own
Shut up,
stuff,
Steve.
dude.
I more have read the story on like a surface level, but from what I could understand, with everything that we know, is that this is pretty much their golden calf, but it kind of diverts from where you left off with the out of sync breathing. Is that the suit? Disney probably wasn't concerned with the person on the inside, because they're like, it doesn't matter, it's going to become our golden calf, and they didn't think that the suit was what people are going to be seeing more of. And
So, okay, hold on.
and the suit was, obviously feeding off of belief, and the belief of the person on the inside probably has a lot more fear, stress, and anxiety, and that's what caused it to corrupt and fail.
So you're saying
Is that the person on the inside got so scared that, hey, this thing is breathing. If I stop breathing out of sync with it, I can't breathe. If I sit down, people are worried with me. Why are the sores sticking to my, like, why is it sticking to my skin? Why is it sticking to my sores? Why am I getting sores? Why can't I take my head off?
So you're saying that
You know,
the Corruptus was originally just a suit, and it formed in. Oh, dude,
the
you just opened up a whole new
so
door for this.
The Corruptus is the guy playing Mickey, and he, because again, it's the power of belief, but the kids and people don't know that there's people under the suit. That's the goal. So they
Yeah,
were only seeing the suit, and it turned into that. What is that? Man in
the
the suit thing with Godzilla.
it's just called Man in the Suit.
Oh well,
Where
perfect.
he
Yeah, but like Man in the suit.
okay, and then that showed more in the story because it talks about like, hey, there's a suit with vomit in it. Hey, can we get people to stop trying to eat through the suit? And eventually, they must have lost the suit and replaced it. And because the other thing is like, if people saw a Mickey Mouse that was completely inverted on all of its colors, that would get reported pretty fast. Which
Mhm.
means that the suit had to have at least looked close enough to the actual Mickey suit to where nobody would have noticed long enough for it to eventually do the other things that it was doing. So yeah, I do like where you're going, where it started out originally as just a suit, and then through the combination of people being like, that's just Mickey Mouse, and the combination of all the vile and vitriol that was going on behind the scenes at the Disney park, it collided in this physical representation of the dude in the Mickey suit, the main guy with the rotten underneath, and the dude inside the suit getting caught in the crossfire of those two conflicting ideals.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's where I think. And then there's this in the suggestion box, they have a thing about Frank's face looked like mashed potatoes when they pulled him out.
Oh yeah, the dude who was complaining about Frank cheating on Solitaire killed him and hid his body in the toilet.
Yeah. Um.
I don't know what that's
Yeah.
about, but
That's interesting. But there was probably okay. Now hear this. Hear this. This guy is turning into Mickey Mouse. Right. Well, the
mm-hmm,
suit is turning into the golden calf. What they want.
mm-hmm.
Um.
Mhm.
And he is stuck at like it's Mickey Mouse. It's Mickey Mouse, and he's stuck. He can't get it out of the suit. So he's like probably trying to scream, "I'm not Mickey Mouse. I'm not Mickey Mouse." And that's where we get this morphing of the inverted colors of Mickey Mouse. Because you've got this, because it's feeding off of belief, and
Mm-hmm.
it's got the most strongest belief living inside of it, which it's most exposed to, and that is I'm not Mickey Mouse, and I can't get my head off.
But it still can't get past the fact, like, yes, you are still Mickey Mouse. So it keeps the form, but changes the color to represent the clash of identity. Interesting. Waifu, would you like to add to the curtain?
Give me a moment to think.
Alrighty.
I don't really have anything like off the top of my head to add. You guys have done a really good job of covering all the points.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's interesting how the suit was slowly taking control of the guy in the mascot suit because he wrote a suggestion where it's like the suit is breathing on its own. He has to breathe with it,
So you agree
or else
with
he'll
us
suffer.
that the suit became the Corruptus and then assimilated the guy
Yes.
into itself? Okay.
hmm And I think his thoughts also affected the Corruptus as well,
Mm-hmm.
because even like years after it was abandoned, it still wanted to take off its head because he was trying to take off the suit, which is interesting.
Yeah. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
None so far. I am very happy with this story.
I am too. So, here is the important question then. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to say that we're going to keep this series just as a collective whole when we rank it because
Yeah.
It's all abandoned
So
by
then we-
Disney, but I don't want to break it down to its separate parts because I feel like that's going to make the list too long too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into the ranking section. And Waifu, you'll actually be able to throw an opinion into this since you're also all caught up, right?
Indeed.
Indeed. So, reiterating the list from the previous video, in first place, we have Fleshgate. Such a good story. Very happy with it.
Peak storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, The Harbinger Experiment. Also really solid. Number 3, The Russian Sleep Experiment. Number 4, The Rake. Number 5, Anansi's Goatman. Number 6, Gateway of the Mind. Number 7, Mothman. Number 8, Tall, Thin, and Faceless. And number 9, Jeff the Killer. So, where do you guys think Abandoned by Disney should go?
I think personally, it's not. I don't think it should go really high on the ranking, but it also doesn't deserve. I think it deserves somewhere in the middle,
I'm
maybe
gonna
high middle.
like 5th place, right? No. What do we have a list of this
Yeah,
of our
just
ranking?
hold. I can
He
No,
just
like a
put it.
physical list.
I have a physical list, but I can post it in the Discord real quick. I'll add it. I'll be sure to add this to the Google Doc as well.
Perfect.
So that's the current list.
I think it should go. I think the rake needs to move down, and Abandoned by Disney needs to go at number 4.
And then we'll put the rake at
Everything below the rake will just move down one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
I kind of want to argue that it gets, if nothing else, this gets third place.
Really?
Yes.
I
Just because I find Russian Sleep Experiment, Russian Sleep Experiment's good. I just liked Abandoned by Disney more. I had more fun with how it did the world building.
yeah.
The kind of
I'll have
conspiracy
to agree
aspect
with
of
you on
it,
that.
where Disney is slowly ruining this guy's life to make sure that he isn't credible enough to be able to try to expose any of their escapades.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for pinning that. That's going to make this so much easier. And then I can just update this.
I still,
So,
because the Russian sleep experiment is a classic,
yeah.
Yeah.
and I feel like
I
you want to put Abandoned by Disney up higher because you've read it before and you enjoyed reading it before.
True. There
But
is also the aspect of I'm
you've had
extremely
way
biased
more
to this
time.
story.
Yeah, you've also had way more time to think upon it because
Hmm.
you knew the story before going in.
I just had a huge ass clap of thunder over my
I got
house.
that too.
Oh,
got
sorry,
Did
I
that
just
pick up over? No, I heard what you were saying, but I was distracted. That was really fucking loud.
no, sorry,
it
that was
was.
just my ass cheeks. Sorry.
Oh, quit
Dude,
moving.
stop throwing it back on the podcast. Sit down, man.
Is that another one?
Sorry about that.
Stop
that a plane?
quoting this stuff. You know what? No, I'm
What?
telling your girlfriend this time that you're throwing it back on our podcast.
She can hear me. She's right in the other room.
Misty, your boyfriend's throwing it, or
You're playing through.
husband's throwing it back for the
Husband.
other men. I don't know what she's saying. I can't
I'm
hear.
enjoying it.
All right, now I'm telling I'm telling
Where
your
did
fiance.
Where did you quote it? Where did you quote it?
Nobody quoted it. He's going schizo.
I am.
Oh,
I'm
okay. Makes more sense.
schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
Skunsa.
Skunzg.
Skonsker.
So I'm gonna go with waifus and say let's move it down.
The 4th place. I feel like
Fourth
4th
place?
place is fair.
I'll take 4th place.
Everything from 4th, move it down.
Yeah,
And make sure to put Jeff the Killer at 100.
I'm not doing
Put it
that.
at 100.
I'm not
It's
doing that.
absolute
I'm
doo-doo
not
fart ass
going
trash.
to do that.
I think once we hit 100 subscribers, we watch the Slender Man movie. Because have you guys seen it before?
No.
I have not.
It was
Okay, so
bad.
have you guys seen Always Watching, a Marble Hornet story? You know what? No, we need to watch Marble Hornets. We need to watch the OG Slenderman movie. That's what we need to do. It's probably going to have to be 3 parts because that show in total is 11, not 11, 9. I don't know how long Marble Hornets is. It's
9/11?
long. We're going to need to do
Not
multiple
11?
parts.
That was yesterday.
Dude, crazy what happened to the towers.
That's, oh my
Turn on the TV. Turn on the TV. They hit the fucking Pentagon.
Stevie, turn on the TV! Wait, please don't turn me on.
I don't want to touch you.
Hey, how you doing,
No,
baby?
no.
You know you want this piece of white chocolate.
I don't want this piece of white chocolate, thank you. I actually don't.
Okay, so Marble Hornets, if we watch it from start to finish, is 9 hours, 21 minutes, and 36 seconds. That is definitely going to
Jesus.
have to be multiple parts.
Yes, but we also can't we can't just put the full episodes up on YouTube.
Because they'll copyright strike us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll blow up our balls in the copyright ball explosion chamber.
I think we'll figure out how to
happen.
we'll figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
So
Don't
we
do
all
it.
agree that okay, let me update this list. So Russian or not Russian, Abandoned by Disney
4th place.
is 4th
Mhm.
place. All right. So, to reinstate what we have in 1st place is Fleshgate. 2nd place, The Harbinger Experiment. 3rd place, The Russian Sleep Experiment. 4th place is Abandoned by Disney. 5th place is The Rake. 6th place is Anansi's Goatman. 7th place is Gateway of the Mind. 8th place is Mothman. 9th place is Tall, Thin, and Faceless. And 10th place is Jeff the Killer.
I think we gotta find a better Mothman story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know
'Cause
where
that one
to
wasn't as
start.
much Mothman as it was Bug Creeper.
Mosquito Man. I think that's what we called him.
We called him what? Oh yeah, Mosquito Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could try to do that. We could probably have that for one of the grab bags as like the 3rd story. Is we
Mhm.
do over a bunch of these. Yeah. Overall, I think this was a pretty solid story, especially for the first of our rotation. I'm very excited to see what waifu picks.
I think I already have the one I would like to read. Ooh, actually, wait. I'm gonna choose between these two.
Well, thank you for watching this episode of Feardromida. And next time you think, oh, Disney wouldn't do that. Oh, yes. Yes, they would.
He fell
Seems
through
he's
the floor
sunk
again.
into the floor again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney got him.
We're going to have to call somebody to fix that. Have a good night, everybody. This is going to take all afternoon to try to get his ass out of that floor again. Waifu, can you go get somebody, like a janitor, get a wet floor sign over here?
Yeah, I'll go do that.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Sleep well.